Well, hello there, friends, and welcome to Strangers in the Night, your source for late night VR gaming talk. I, of course, am your host, Wes. With me, as always, my good friend Eric.
What's going on, fellas?
What's going on, Eric? And my good friend Roots. Roots, I'm tired, brother. How are you?
I'm feeling a little tired myself. I know Mash is, and he's chugging coffee over there. I told him I'm dreaming of coffee too, but I'm dreaming of coffee in about 8 hours, and it'll taste so good and wake me up so good as well.
You know, when we're doing Game of the Month last month during February, and PlayStation VR had literally nothing in the category. Um, we kind of felt sorry for Brian for a minute because obviously it's hard to cover PlayStation VR sometimes in 2021 and 2022. But now, as we sit here at the end of March, I'm envious, dude. We just need to pick a platform and run with it. This is too much.
Yeah, it's crazy. There's too many games, right?
Can't do it. I want
Eric,
to play everything. I want to play everything, man.
I know. Well, I felt that way. I felt that way for a minute, but I don't. I don't want to play everything.
No, that's true. Wait a minute, hold on. I retract that. There's about 5 games in this list I never want to play again.
and don't forget the ones that I didn't leave on the list. I took some out for in interest of time.
We need a garbage list we can talk about.
The garbage of the month.
Garbage of the month. I love it.
We could do it, especially this month.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, I think Brian has the idea. Today, a year from now, obviously going to be a very different story over there on Without Parole. But today, he's he's got it made. We have to come up with things to talk about, right? Anyway, I'm glad we have friends in the chat tonight because there were so many games in the month of March. And it's another one of those months, guys. Some of the platforms I think are pretty definitive, others up in the air. So we're going to lean heavily on the chat tonight, and hopefully they can give us some clarity as we try to talk through these platforms. But that's not all, friends. It's not just about awarding Game of the Month. It's also about awarding second chance winners from last week's giveaways. And my lovely wife, about an hour ago, maybe 2 hours ago, went through the process. Every game had a list, every entrant had a number. Random.org, random number generator, selected the winners. But you wouldn't know it. Looking at this list, you'd think that we just picked the winners out of our Discord server, wouldn't you?
Yeah, especially with it's a list of who's of people that have been around for a while, right?
A veritable who's that of VR gamers.
We like that list. We should say, you know what we got to say? Your wife is kick-ass, dude. Your
Yeah,
wife
she
does a
is.
lot of stuff behind the scenes that nobody knows about, plus takes care of your family, puts up with you doing all these shows. And Michelle Dillon, you rock.
Yeah.
And she's probably one of the best moderators I got in my group.
And she does Supernatural twice a day. Like, how in the world? Like, I don't have that kind of energy. Like, I got tired playing Knock earlier.
I did too. Yeah, but I'm 50 years old almost, man.
I'm not that far behind you. Anyway, we do have a lot to talk about tonight. We have awards to name. We have games to give away. We have friends in chat to say hello to, like Technoglitch, who is always in the house. Thank you, Tech, for showing up. Serenity is here. Hiya, Serenity. Thanks for stopping by. Daniel Kaz says, pick a platform. Joking. That was all in jest. We can't do it. We love VR too much, and there are great games, literally great games on every platform. If we even dropped one of them, we would regret it immediately. So, who needs sleep, guys? Sleep's overrated anyway, right?
Yeah, for real.
I'm going to stop reviewing Go games. That's it.
Yeah. Well, you pretty much should, I think.
I think it's a good call. Yeah. ET2K9.now says, thank you, Mrs. Dillon. Yeah, so thanks, wife. She's asleep, by the way, but I'm sure she'll see this in the morning when she's in here putting timestamps on this video.
Another thing that she does, yeah.
Well, Rosa says, I don't believe in feeling sorry for Brian. We know you don't, Wolverizer. We see you in the chat and we see what you say. So, you know. Chi-Town D, what's up, Chinatown D? There's another hardworking lady in our community. Thanks for stopping by, D. Blam Crotch. I do miss watching live though. So Blam Crotch in the house, but as is the case sometimes, we're getting a little late for him, so he might have to bow out. Radio Run is here. Just got out of some Cyberpunk 2077 with the VR mod. So far, working pretty good. He gave it a pretty glowing recommendation on the Discord yesterday as well, Ruuts.
Yeah, he did. But now he's saying it's so far still working pretty good. Sounds like a step back from where he was yesterday, where it's like, dude, this thing is fucking phenomenal, the best thing ever since sliced bread. But no, that's really good. I was just talking to a customer yesterday. I saw his Rift S in his room. It was actually the kid's room. And I say kid, he was like 22 or something. And as I was spraying his room, I said, oh yeah, I see your Rift S there. And he said, oh yeah, my friend just got I said, I just got the Quest 2, so he gave me this. And I started talking to him about mods and Luke Ross. And halfway through the conversation, he decided what he was going to be doing that afternoon. He said anyway, he was going to be looking into it. So yeah, it's really cool.
Nice. Way to spread the word there. So yeah, good work, Ruuts. And thank you, Radio Rep, for sharing. I'm very interested in that mod. Maybe one of these days I'll get to play mods again. Who else is here? Guido's here, 7335. What's up, Chris? Thanks for stopping by. Traveling Man. Did we already say hi to Traveling Man? I don't know. Let's do it again just in case we didn't. Hello, Traveling Man.
Traveling Man?
Send us back. Says the phone just fell on my face.
Mm.
I know how that can happen.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't start muting or erasing people.
Where's Michelle B or Wolverizer? I might have muted them both by mistake.
So weird.
Drippy the Game Cat. Hiya, Drippy. Thanks for showing up. And I think that is the top of my visible list. Everyone, be sure to click over to live chat. This is your live chat reminder because YouTube sucks.
Yeah.
Everyone switch over to the one that we all want. Oh, here's Onokazi. What's up, bro? Took a break from Without Parole. Need to stop back and see how it's doing. Well, I would agree with that. I would suggest that you start with the Wednesday shows, or as we like to call them, the West Day shows. And today was a particularly good one because I literally talked something into existence today. Like we were having a conversation about indie devs and the ones that we expect to shine on PlayStation VR 2, and we had a list, and in typical West fashion, we talked too much and we had to cut about half the list out, and Brian had me pick the last one, and I picked Electric Hat, the developers of To the Top. I started going down my wish list for a sequel. Then magically the developer shows up in chat, says he has a new trailer for the sequel, asks us if we want to premiere it, which we do, and it turns out, guys, that it's everything that I had wished for. That game looks amazing, and if you guys haven't checked out that trailer yet, it's live right now over on the Without Parole channel. Go look at it after tonight's show.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So what did he do? He just sent it to Brian, and then Brian just aired it right there? Because I missed this. I was there for the first part of the show. I missed like the last half hour or so, 40 minutes.
Yep, we did it live, man. Like Brian put the thumbnail up on the screen while he downloaded it and loaded it into OBS, and yeah, it all happened in real time. It was magical, man. I spoke it into reality.
That's cool.
Can you speak me Half-Life Alyx 4, or Half-Life 3, or Half-Life Alyx 2, or something along those lines?
Yeah, if something comes into the chat here in a second, then Wes, I'm gonna start telling you when I start speaking. I win the lotto, and
yeah, right.
Maybe the government stopped
Returnal
getting
VR,
crazy.
Returnal VR.
Yes.
Returnal
Shit,
VR.
yeah.
Yeah, we can try it. So you guys heard it here first. Next week's topic for discussion: Half-Life 3 VR. We'll see how it goes. Onikali says, awesome. Did not know the dev was working on the sequel. Now, I did. What I did not know is that the dev is a frequent, an active member of the Without Parole community. He's a game cat. watches nearly every show. I didn't know that when I picked the studio and started talking about the game. But yeah, I have known for some time that there was a sequel in the works. It's been in development for many years and literally could drop any time. It's been in development for that long. So it looks great, man. I can't wait, Onakazi, until you check out the trailer for it. I mean, it's going to be like a story campaign with enemies. The graphics don't look generic anymore. It looks even more parkour than the original. It looks great. It's really good.
Oh, that's crazy. Chi-Town D says, repeat after me, Wes. Destiny 3 PSVR 2 launch title.
That sounds good too.
That does sound really good.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Destiny 3 PSVR 2 launch title. And while we're at it, PSVR 2 launching summer 2022.
Yes.
Do that.
Sweet.
And by the way, guys, I expect if that happens, if we do get PSVR 2 this year, I expect at least 5 new patrons on the Patreon. Link in the description down below.
At least
$3 a month. I mean, it's worth it to get your PSVR this year, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, we're on a timetable, man. Like everything's crumbling around us. I at least want to try this thing before everything goes to shit in the handbasket.
Yeah, we'll be all right. We'll be all right. We will see the launch of that. I'm pretty confident. Anyway, well, you say we get into it, and let's start by talking a little bit about PlayStation VR. We mentioned that February was not the best month for PSVR, but it's been like that for some time. It's on again, off again, right? PSVR will have an awesome month, then they'll have a month with nothing, and just so happens that March turns out to be another awesome month for PlayStation VR, and it started on the 10th of March when a longtime staple on basically every other VR platform finally came to PSVR. And that's kind of the story of the month. Republic VR from Camouflage, the same developer that brought us Iron Man VR, dropped the anniversary edition on the PSN store. $15 for this game, guys. And pretty popular. Everyone that's played this game really enjoys it, which is interesting because this isn't your typical VR game. It's a VR adaptation of a flat game, and it's a pretty hardcore stealth game. But the storytelling's good, the environments are beautiful, and it's just solid work from a solid studio. Eric, thoughts on Republic VR?
I'm just even looking at the trailer. It's been a long time since I played this game, but just even looking at this trailer, this game still looks good even for today. You know what I mean? I mean, this game, if you relaunch this game on PCVR today, for all of the new people that are now into it, they would be like, "Holy crap, this is a great game!" You know what I mean? But everybody forgets about it because it's been out for so long. So yeah, I'm glad that finally the PlayStation VR crowd gets a chance to get it, and I'm sure they ate this right up.
Oh, they loved it. They loved it. Roots, one of the games that we first covered on this channel, Republic VR, and here we are, 3 years in, still talking about it, still moving to new platforms, and still critically acclaimed.
Yeah, totally unique too. Like you said, it's a stealth game, but it's just it's like top down kind of. I mean, it just changes, but I really enjoyed the gameplay that I played on it. It's been a long time since I tried it as well. Eric and I were actually talking about it before the show. I might want to go back into this.
Yeah, those camera angles kind of throw me back to like old school flat games, like the older Resident Evil games where the camera just kind of changes as you move, which can be problematic at times during like chase sequences and things like that. But all in all, a fun game, a great story, and enough progression to make you actually want to play it again. You're talking about wanting to go back into it, Roots. There's good calls for it as you unlock skills and things as you go. And I think as you, I could be mistaken here, but I think when you play through it the second time, you start with all that progression already unlocked.
That's pretty cool.
I didn't know that.
Wolvie says he always forces past stealth in stealth games. Doesn't think he could get into this one. You know, my problem with stealth games, and this is, I don't know if this is your guys' problem, is I'm like a kid, you know, like a baby with a blanket where you put the parent covers their face and you forget they're there. Like I just want to run and pretend that they can't see me. and then it doesn't always work out because then all of a sudden they're chasing me and pissed off. So
Ruuts will put the branch in front of your face, and you think you're
yes,
hidden
yeah.
behind the tree.
I just run and pretend like they can't see me. Doesn't that work? No, probably not.
All right, so let's see here. We have in the chat, who was it that said it? Technoglitch says, I'm not playing it. I'm curious, are there any PCVR players in the chat that would like to play this game? We'll give people a moment to answer that. I think I might have a key for it.
And
I do.
if you say you want it, fuck you. You're not getting this one.
You can't have it.
You
Yeah,
can't have this
anybody
one now.
but Technoglitch.
This is not for tech because you just said you don't want it.
Looks like I might be wrong about that anyway. I thought I had a key, but it looks like I've already given it away. So, my bad. My bad. Yeah, I thought I had two. I only had one, and it's gone. All right, my heart was in the right place.
Yeah.
Why don't we give something? Well, actually, wait a minute. No. Wait a minute. I think I actually might have one. Did anyone step up and say that they wanted it?
Not yet.
It probably doesn't matter then, does it? Let's see here. I think I do.
If anybody's out there that's got a PC that hasn't played this game, say it right now, man. This is a good game. You should be trust me, you want to play this game. I don't know what you guys think, but this is a great VR game.
They probably, most of them have it, like I have it, and like I didn't go seeking it out.
It's been in a lot of like humble bundles, so there are a lot of people that probably do have it, but it's that good though. It's really good.
Trying to get back up to
don't sleep on it.
My list here of I've got one more of them. Put the call out there. Anybody wants it? This is last call for it.
Raza might want it. He says he's got to learn to play some slower games. So this is a slower game for you, bro.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. First one to hit me up on Discord and say I want that game can have it. How about that?
There you go. Guido says he'll take it. Hit Wes up. Whoever wants it. Guido, Raza.
All right. Guido. Yeah, Guido on my screen was the first one to accept it. So congratulations, sir. You are the winner of Republic VR. And don't tune out just yet. You might want to hang around. It's going to be a good day for you, sir. Anyway, let's move along to the next PSVR release. You know, second verse, same as the first. One of the first games that we covered on this channel. A very solid title. Finally making its way over to PlayStation VR on the 22nd of March as Shadow Point from Coatsink. Finally made its way over to PlayStation VR. $20 on this one. Ruuts, high quality narrative driven puzzle game here, but this is not a lighthearted casual puzzler, is it? This is a hardcore puzzle game with a lot of nice production built up around it.
Yeah, this actually is. The puzzles are pretty intense, definitely different. Patrick Stewart is the narrator, very good. And we also have a key no, we don't have a key to give away. Wes is like, what the fuck? We're not giving a key to all of these. But no, this is definitely another good pickup for PlayStation VR, right?
Yeah, kind of a surprise for me, Eric, when they announced this one, because to be honest, a lot of the Quest launch titles, and I don't mean Quest 2, but I mean the original OG Quest launch titles, to this day are still some of the best titles in that catalog, but they don't get a lot of play. People don't talk about them a lot. They were kind of before their time. So I was kind of happy to see this one resurrected for PlayStation VR because I don't think it gets its just due in the discourse when people were talking about puzzle games these days.
Yeah, and I'm probably I'm a big offender. I've never played this game.
What the hell's wrong with you, bro?
Played it. You know me, I'm not a huge puzzle fan, and it's never. I've looked at it a million times. I'm just like, eh.
How dare
it looks
Like
beautiful, but I know it's a puzzler, and I'm like, eh. You know.
It's pretty straightforward at first. It does get more difficult as you go. It's a light puzzler. It those puzzles from Resident Evil games where you have to hold the object up in front of the projector and then rotate it to get it to kind of match the shape on the picture. It's a lot of that kind of stuff. They add some other different mechanics to keep it fresh as you progress through the game. But really, the puzzles are challenging and they're fun and all. To me, this game is all about the production. It's about the story. It's about the narration. That's what I like about it. But I do think that we have to ding it a little bit here because this is not the Quest version we're talking about. This is the PlayStation VR version, and some surprising omissions with this version. Things like it's forced to teleport only, things like
Oh,
that. A lot of quality of life stuff here, uh, mysteriously missing from this game, which makes you wonder why would they do that? Like I don't understand.
I don't understand either. I was just talking to Eric about teleport only. Was it Cosmonius High or something? And you know how sometimes it could be rendering for like some of the lesser platforms, but PlayStation doesn't have that problem. Even the first,
Oh,
so I don't understand. It makes no sense at all. Teleport sucks, yo.
no,
Yeah.
no thumbstick, bro. If you don't have a thumbstick, we can't move. Apparently, it doesn't matter that there's a giant button in the middle of the thing called the move button that you can press and point your controller and walk in that direction. But I guess some developers, I guess that's just over their head, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Onikazi said, yeah, they got the short shift as they were old by the time Quest 2 sales took off. Yeah, man. It still blows my mind that what is it, Journey of the Gods? People don't talk about that game more. And I get it, like the art style is very simplistic. But it's one of the more true to form Zelda type adventures in VR. There's a lot of variety in the gameplay. Like there's a lot of variety in the levels and gameplay in that. And I really liked it. I finished it. I mean, that's how much I like it. Guys, I don't finish a game unless I really enjoy it. And I finished that one.
Yeah, for sure.
Onikazi says, "Oh, a launch game that didn't get a lot of streams or buzz. Why bother?" Yeah, that's probably right. That's probably the way most people look at it. But those games are still awesome, and I guess if we ever get some downtime, we might stream them or something and try to bring some new eyes on them.
We should do a list of like, I mean, we talk about hidden gems or launch title hidden gems that like Edge of Nowhere, is another one that came out and that when the original CV1, right? And a lot of people don't even know that game exists. It's one of my favorite games in VR. One of the
Still
best
one of
ones.
the
Wilson's
best
Heart.
games today. Still one of the best games.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Wilson's
you
Heart.
can go to IMDb and read to people the cast of Wilson's Heart, just the actors that did the voice roles in that, and their heads literally explode because they can't believe there's a VR game that has that kind of star power behind it. And then when you tell them that it's a 2016 game, like they're like, "Where have I been all this time?" Right? Amazing games in the early catalog. So I think you're right, Roots. I think that we should do a forgotten titles episode, or we'll come up with a clever name for it. But it absolutely is a worthwhile conversation to have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Onikazi says Kronos, another one. That was really good. So
Absolutely, we could do this for every platform. There are forgotten gems from 2016, 2017 that people should be playing today. Because let's be honest, those games 2016, 2017, 2018, that's still kind of the peak for VR in terms of frequency of great titles. Now we get a lot more titles now, a lot more good ones, a lot less tech demos than we used to get. But we also get a lot less of the super ultra high quality games as well, as the VR library has become questified, if you will. Rightfully so. That's where the money's at. And these devs, of course, they need to make money first, right?
yeah, absolutely. Hussein X says Ancient Gems. I mean, that's actually a good
There you
name.
go.
Yeah.
Why would you play any of those games when you can play Garden of the Sea? Come on, really?
Right. And right. You know how you get to Garden of the Sea? You hop in your boat in Marineverse and you sail
Oh
there.
man,
Oh yeah.
I could play weeks just on those two titles. Why would I ever want to play Edge of Nowhere?
Yeah, for real.
We give Garden of the Sea a hard time, but none of us have ever played it. And the more I look at it, it actually doesn't look half bad. It looks better than half of the quest titles on the Game of the Month this month, to be quite honest.
Eric's gonna play it. He's streaming it.
Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with you on that point. It does look better than half the games on the quest thing this month, but that doesn't say a whole bunch for that game.
Moving along, third verse, same as the second, which was same as the first. Stride making its way over to PlayStation VR finally on the 24th. This game, of course, from Joyway, $15. Ruuts still very much a work in progress, this game, but apparently there's enough there to bring about some critical acclaim because everyone that plays this game likes this game, and that is the case as well on PlayStation VR.
Well, if they sell enough copies of this, they better take that money and bring us the story mode, because they've now ported this over. They've done all sorts of shit. They've brought new games. You know what I mean? They've done everything except for give us the campaign for this. And that's the one thing I'm waiting for.
Did you see their April Fool's joke?
Mm-mm.
It was good. It was good. They went on Twitter and said that the long-awaited story mode was finally ready and accessible for those people who buy their new NFT. All you gotta do is buy one of their NFTs, and you could get the story mode.
That's awesome. So I got invited to one of their final betas this weekend for a new thing coming out for the game, right? You think it's gonna be story mode?
Nope.
Multiplayer.
Yeah, that's right. We knew multiplayer was coming.
Yeah, but I mean, that's what I'm saying. I don't even know if they're working on a freaking single player. They're trying to finish the multiplayer.
They are. I guarantee you that they will finish the story mode. They keep talking about it, and if they were really going to leave it behind, they wouldn't be keeping it alive. Every time they do an update on the game and they tell people kind of what their roadmap is, story mode is always there. They've already said that it's going to be like late this year, early next year, before it hits. So
they said that last year.
Well,
they did.
They said late next year.
I believe it's coming. I just like to give them a hard time because that they've taken so long. It's probably going to be really amazing. So it'll be cool.
Yeah, and by the way, for what it's worth, Stride apparently very good right now. Even it's so good that they committed one of the cardinal sins of PlayStation VR controller configuration, and without parole did not crucify them like they normally do. When a game doesn't use the move button to move, these guys normally eat a game's ass alive for that. But Stride uses the triangle button to move, and they were fine with it. They're like, sure, whatever, go ahead.
You know who else likes to have their ass eaten alive?
My mom! Set them up, knock them down, friend.
Yeah, you know.
Anyway, 3 long-time PCVR / Quest ports coming over to PlayStation VR, making for a very good month. But then the last day of the month came along, and we all got a stark reminder what a great VR game is made of. As Moss Book 2 from Polyarch, finally, after many years of development and much speculation and hype, hit the PSVR store for $40. And Eric, the price point a source of some trepidation amongst the gaming public, but having played the game, I mean, obviously we all like cheaper prices, and we would like to have seen it for $30. But I have no problem with the $40 price tag. I think that this is on the short list for Game of the Year, and it reminded me of what VR gaming used to be like before everyone started making Quest games.
Yeah, I mean, this at $40, if this had released on every one of these platforms, it would have won Game of the Month on every one of these platforms. I think hands down. We would have had a short show tonight.
Yeah,
would have. It's that good. It's that good. And here's what they did. They gave us exactly what we had before. They just made it better, and they made it better. You know what I mean? So it's not like they didn't reinvent anything here. They just worked on it, and they made it, a little bit better than it was before. And it looks beautiful. It plays great. and I just can't wait for everybody to be able to play it because there's a lot of people that just can't play it right now. And I just feel bad for them because there's a lot of people that are really itching to play it. But soon, guys, it's coming. And $40 is a steal for this game. I'm telling you, we have to pay these prices to get these games. You can't argue with these prices. You have to pay them if you want. Don't argue that there's no AAA titles and then go, I don't want to play $40 for a good game. I only want to pay 25 or $30.
And
$40 worth it. Pay it.
they're not going to work on a game for that's it's $10 a
Yeah.
year, man. You know what I mean? That's 4 years is a long fucking time to be working on a game. And you're right. That's exactly it. They put the time in. They put the AAA effort and gave us what we wanted. And $40 is reasonable. It's still cheaper than what you pay for any flat game that's coming out new. Well, not any. That new Weird West was $40, and that's actually a pretty good game.
They took a Gen 1 classic that everyone loves and they improved it in every department. There is not one thing about this game that isn't better than the original. And they addressed the one thing that everyone complained about with the original is that there wasn't enough of it. There's more game here. It's a much more fleshed out. I mean, it seems like a legit game now. The first one kind of seemed like a lot of titles did back then. Like I don't want to call it a tech demo. It was more than a tech demo, but you understand what I'm saying. Like it was short, and not the case here. Obviously we all want more of a good thing, but this one felt more like a legitimate game, and I think $40 is a good price for it. Roots, Wolveraza says, why are you debating this? You know what you're going to choose. Like, somebody please explain to Wolveraza what the definition of debate is, because I don't think there's any debate here, is there?
No. I mean, everything that we said about those last 3 games is true, but it's not this for sure. This is the one game that I don't have to discuss it. I mean, what I mean? Mash and I were talking before the show. This is an easy category. Now, some of the other ones, actually, pretty much both the other categories, there's going to be a lot of debating, or I guess leaning on the chat, really, right?
Well,
Yeah,
it's I'm sorry. I was going to say it's
Right.
telling that the 3 of us talked earlier tonight. We were in playing a game together earlier tonight, and when we were getting finished up, we said, we had other stuff we needed to go into, and we all said the same thing. There's one game that we really all want to go back into right now, and that was Moss.
Yeah, we were all struggling with this list of Quest releases, trying to get some time in the majority of them. But that's not what we wanted to be doing. We wanted to be playing PlayStation VR and playing Moss Book 2. And while I agree with you, Eric, that it is kind of a shame that certain players have to wait to play this game, I'm glad that PSVR is still kind of getting a few games like this in 2022. It deserves a good send off, and I think that this is a perfect example of the type of games that it should be getting in its last year, maybe even its last month. In as a major VR platform.
I'm curious to see how they did with their launch. I'm curious to see how many people pulled the PlayStation VR out of their closet or were under their bed or wherever it was, that they were sitting on it and said, I need to play this. Because I can tell you, Todd has a PlayStation VR. He has access to this game if he wanted to. And he just didn't pull it out. He's like, I'll wait. I'm going to wait for the Quest version to come. So curious to see how many people did it, and how, if this, probably Arc's going to get the money no matter what. They're just going to have to wait for it. I'm just curious if they did well enough.
I'm curious to see how good this thing is going to look on PCVR. That's what I want to see, because as amazing as it looked on PlayStation, I was wanting it to be, on my computer, being pushed by my graphics card, right?
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, it is beautiful on PlayStation VR. But what we're going to get with the PC version is so many of the wow moments in Moss come when you take in the big picture and you're looking at like the distant scenery, like the layers of distant scenery, and you kind of lose resolution as things get further and further away from you. On PC, that won't be the case. It'll be clarity for as long and as far as you can see, and probably even a little bit more detail. If it's like the first one, there'll be even a little bit more detail with the closer up items as well.
Especially with you guys, 3080 and 3080 Ti, you're gonna be able to crank that crap up. It's gonna be amazing.
Yes, sir. Will Rosa says my kid just paid $90 for the new Tiny Teeny Wonderland thing on PS5. 40 ain't shit. I agree.
Yeah.
People need to have a little perspective when it comes to these gaming prices. We kind of need for the prices to be higher, to be quite honest, because so many of these, especially the indie devs, they're drowning trying to publish their games on this platform where you can get some of the best games in VR for $5, $10, $15. We kind of need these, the price point to move up a little bit so that these guys can charge 20 and still sell copies.
Yeah.
How are you ever going to pull in the AAA devs if you are charging, indie prices? You're just not going to do it. I mean, some of these big AAA devs are charging $60 for a game, or $70 for a game. Or like Wolverada said, you get like a deluxe package, you're getting $90. If they, why would you ever go to a platform when you can only get $30 a game? You're not going to. So
Well,
we're going to need to pay a little bit more, but they need to give it to it. They can't give us a 4-hour
exactly.
experience.
That's exactly it too, man. Like some of these games, like Elden Ring, I'm 150 hours in and the content is still coming out. That's the competing force, right? That's what we hope for in this type of a game eventually, right? I mean, I don't know. I don't know if 150 hours of Moss would be probably too much.
ET2K9 now says it's a shame that they didn't have it have dynamic resolution on PS5. It's interesting that you say that because they did state that it was optimized for PS5. I wonder what exactly it is that they're talking about. If it wasn't dynamic resolution, what was it?
Load times. It's all it
Smooth
is.
90 hertz? I don't know.
I mean, it's just load times because that's from what I'm hearing from everybody. That's what's just load times.
Somebody said
I was told this exactly from Polyarc that it was, when I was in GDC, they said that it was optimized. They wouldn't tell me what, but they just said it was optimized for PlayStation 5. From what I hear from everybody who has played it on a PlayStation 4, it's load times.
15-20 second load times, Wes, is what they're saying for some scenes. On the PlayStation
that's odd
4.
because that's not really an optimization. That's just something inherent that's built in. They don't have to do anything for the PS5 to load it way faster. So that I wouldn't call that an optimization. If they are, that's a bit dishonest.
weird.
I think they're probably talking about something else. I probably should put on my detective hat and find out exactly what it is that they're talking about.
You could do it. You have a PlayStation 4, right? Still? You
Yeah, yeah.
You should pop it in and just check to see if you can tell what you can tell the difference. You're probably one of the only ones who can still do that has a PlayStation 5 and a PlayStation 4.
Yeah, I've got a PS5 here. If you walk that way, in the next room, there's a Pro. And if you keep walking, a couple more rooms that way, there's a Slim. So I can check it on all three, actually.
Hell yeah.
Anyway, no-brainer PSVR game of the month. On the short list for overall game of the year, Moss Book 2, and masterpiece of a game. And yeah, no debate here from anyone, I don't think.
Yeah, for sure. And to be fair, I guess Wolvie was saying that's why chat or text can suck sometimes, because that was a joke on his end. So
anyway, why you say we name a few winners or a couple winners of some.
oh, I guess this scene doesn't, for some reason. Hold on a second. They said that it was muted, but it doesn't have the audio thing that last week I had to add. It should. Let's see. Should be in there now.
Are we good?
Yep.
Yep.
We
Yeah.
are good. All right. Thank you, chat.
Yeah. For real.
As I was saying, last week was our 3rd birthday, and to celebrate, we gave away a handful of great games. And as we typically do, we allowed people to leave a comment on the video in case they couldn't make it live, so that we could select second chance winners this week. And a couple of those games happen to be PlayStation VR games. And so we're going to go ahead and name the PSVR winners right now. For the record, the winners were chosen as they typically are. My wife made a list for each of the games that we were giving away. She listed everyone who entered for each game, assigned them all a number, and then she went to the random.org random number generator to select winners. So that's how we always choose our winners here. We don't have a wheel of D. We don't have all that drama. We I have a wife who gives me a list.
I got a wife, and that's it. That's all you need.
How about a wheel of Michelle Dillon?
If she wanted to, she's asleep though, bro.
Yes.
She'll tell you to go to hell if you try to wake her up right now.
Yeah, maybe that's not a good idea.
Anyway, the first PlayStation VR title that we had for grabs was an awesome one, Fracked, from our friends over in Dreams. Want to thank them for donating the keys for us to give away. And this is Fracked Deluxe Edition, and it's on the store of your choice. So you could either get the NA version or the EU version, just whichever one you want. So congratulations, Kinty Poo. You are now the new owner of Fracked. Hit me up on the Discord. Let me know if you want the NA version or the EU version, and we'll get the key right over to you.
One of the best games I played last year.
Yeah, it was very good. Short, but good. And you know that's who loves them when they're short, but good.
My mom!
Oh, yeah, she does.
I heard you and Brian talking about it today. He loved that game too, but he just needed more, right?
I think everyone can pretty much agree with that, right? I mean, some people were beating that game on the first run sub 2 hours. I mean, that's a $30 game that people were beating in less than 2 hours. That's pretty short, man.
I want a Frack 2, PSVR 2 launch. Frack 2.
That would be cool, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. I would love to see more from this universe. Yeah, absolutely. And you know, people not for nothing still hungry for DLC on this one. So we're going to be talking to our friend Jimmy from In Dreams in a few days as we go on location from Rec Room. Guys, I need our Rec Room experts to step forward and give us some awesome things to check out in Rec Room. We're going to be questing in Rec Room, doing some of the quests that the Rec Room team has put together, but we want to check out some user created stuff too, but only the good stuff. So we need you guys to tell us what's good. And if you do put forward an experience for us to check out, and we actually happen to go check it out with Jimmy, we will shout you out during the episode for tipping us off. So let us know in the comments down below. Hit us up on the Discord. Let us know what's good in Rec Room, and we'll definitely go in there and check it out with our good friend Jimmy.
Make sure it's good, because if it's not good and we go in there with Jimmy, we're definitely going to shout you out when we come back to the show.
Hell yeah.
That's right. That's
not going to be good.
Blame it on, right?
Yeah.
Maybe we go into something bad and we tell him he can't leave until he gives us some info.
Oh.
We'll take him into the back rooms.
You know who else likes to go into the back rooms?
My mom!
You can't keep her out of there.
No.
Traveling Man says, "Come on down. You're the next contestant on West is always right."
I'd say 99.9%. Very, very, because you put your detective hat on and you dig into it and you find out what's going on.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, one more PSVR game up for grabs, and it's a doozy, Moss Book 2 from Polyarch. So We did not get a key donated for this one. Well, we did get one. We gave it away already. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to buy you a copy of Moss Book 2 on whatever store that you happen to be playing on. And we'll go ahead and congratulate the winner of Moss Book 2, Mind Jive. Mind
Ooh.
Jive is the winner of Moss Book 2. Hit me up on Discord, bro. Let me know if you're EU or NA, and we'll float you a couple of PlayStation codes out there so that you can get some credit on your account and pick up this masterpiece of a game for yourself. So, congratulations, Mind Jive. You have won a great game.
Hell yeah. Awesome.
Onakazi says, trick question. There's nothing good on social VR platforms. The only winning move is not to play. Well, I didn't hear the question, but I agree with the sentiment.
Yeah.
War games.
Yeah. Anyway, speaking of social VR platforms, let's talk about Oculus Quest this month, guys. It seems like just last month I was sitting here telling you guys that I don't think we've had a month with this many Quest releases to talk about. And here we are again. I don't think we've had a month with this many Quest releases to talk about, because while this happens to be our longest Oculus Quest list that we've ever done, there was 3 or 4 others that I didn't even put on here. Like, there was literally multiple releases every week for Oculus Quest this month, Eric. It's too much, dude. It's just too much.
We literally, it was this month, right? That I think we got into a call, me and you, early on. It was March, right? It wasn't February we were talking about, and I was like flipping. I'm like, Wes.
Yeah, it
I'm like,
was. It was
I'm
late
like, what?
February.
Yeah. I'm like,
We
Wes,
were,
we got
we were
problems.
Yeah. So Eric and I had a conversation mid to late February, and he was panicking. He was like, dude, we're not going to have anything to talk about in March. There's nothing scheduled to come out. What are we going to do? What are we going to talk about? And I put his heart at rest. I told him, this is the VR space, bro. You never know it's coming until it gets here. I'm sure something will be out in March for us to talk about. And boy, howdy, Quest delivered in a big way.
Yeah. I mean, shit. Marineverse. That was March, right? That was so good.
That was March. That's not
That's
on
not on
the
your
list.
list? Oh man.
Hitchhiker, which is an okay game. There's a lot we could say about it. It was all right. Not game of the month material. Not on the list. You know what else isn't on the list, Eric? Virtuoso. And while that's a solid app, this is game of the month, right?
Yeah, that's true. It is good though. It's super good. And if you're a talented person, like somebody you love music, I'm surprised you haven't been in there. You're a huge music fan. I don't know if you're creative. I mean, I think you are creative with music too, aren't you? I thought you said your dad was
A
into
bit.
music and you were into music, playing
Yeah,
music.
my
And
dad. Yeah, my parents, my grandparents, uncles, aunts. Yes, we are a musical family.
I mean, you literally can create music in there, and I have to get back in there because I want to hear some of this created music that people have made. So, I mean, yeah, you're right. It's not a game for sure. There's no game here at all. But it's a creation tool, and if you like music, I think it's something you should check out.
Yeah, I definitely would have been in there if it weren't for all this other garbage. I would have certainly been in Virtuoso checking it out.
Yeah,
Still there.
But
You still can check it out.
yeah, go check it out.
That's right. That's absolutely right. And if I do, I'll be sure to share whatever it is I end up creating. Although it'll probably take me months, because I'm not going to make garbage. It's going to take some work. And the good thing is you can lay down tracks on it. Like, you can lay down a bass track, lay down a drum track on top of it, and just build your song, like any good music creation tool will allow you to do. It's a legitimate music creation tool for VR, and certainly in terms of quality, probably would be toward the top of this list if it were on the list. But again, this is game of the month, and that is not a game. So anyway, Roots Quest started off the month extremely strong on the 3rd of March, $30 from Space Bullet. A big surprise as Vox Machina made its way to the Oculus Quest store. And I went into this one expecting a fairly popular PCVR game to be questified, if you will. But that's not what I saw at all. I saw an amazing port of again a very popular Steam VR game as it came into full release. Um, what did you think about Vox Machina? I was surprised not only at the quality level that they were able to achieve on Quest 2, but again, this was a multiplayer only game just a few months back. Now it has all this awesome story campaign, and I was really impressed with this game. What did you think?
I think they nailed it. I think it was a really good release. The game, I played the PCVR version. I loved it. Wanted a story. They now have a story. They now have a new pool of people to play with for a multiplayer. And I also thought that chick at that table thought she was better than me. And I don't think she is. I don't think there she is right there.
Legitimately,
Yeah.
legitimately.
This chick legitimately thinks she's better than me. And I don't
You
think
know
she
what it
is.
was, Roots? You didn't have enough teeth in your mouth for her.
Oh, that's right. That's right. She's like, this guy's only got like half the teeth that he needs. Very bizarre. But no, I thought this game was really good. Very one of the best mech games that exist out there. You know what I mean? So it's really good.
Yeah, and I'm not a mech game type of guy, but I love story-driven adventures. And Eric, not only is this a legit story-driven adventure, but again, the graphical quality that they achieved on Quest was like staggering right from the menu screen, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, as soon as you spawn in, you're in that hangar and you see the huge mech in front of you, and you're going up like you got to go up an elevator to get into the freaking thing, and then you get into the cockpit, and everything, almost everything is like you manipulatable. You can manipulate almost anything, which is super cool. Yeah, I mean the visuals and then the landscape outside, and then then you get out of your mech and you start walking around inside, and you're interacting with people, and even the character models looked really good. So I was definitely impressed with this game, and I was the same as Roots. I love this game on PC, and it needed something else. That's why you just wanted something besides multiplayer because it was an awesome game on PC that I actually played with my HOTUS, which was super cool. And I loved it there. And this is just more is better with this, especially with the story.
Yeah, and speaking of HOTUS, I don't have one, but typically I hate these games that use like virtual HOTUS and have like manual controls in VR. So you're not really using buttons and sticks to play, but you're grabbing joysticks and pulling levers in VR. It's a good idea. It's a good concept, but most of the games really miss the mark with it because it doesn't feel natural. You're grabbing things in the game that you don't feel in real life, and you typically you know overcompensate for that. You'll push a lever too far and move the controls. Typically this style of control tends to be not as precise as I like for it to be, but they nailed it here. Like the in-game controls in this are excellent, and I didn't have any trouble with them whatsoever.
Yeah, they were really good.
uh, Yeah. So yeah, high quality way to kick off the month for Quest on the 3rd. Definitely worth the $30. Definitely recommend. Check this out if you haven't already. Um, as we've gone on through the month and we've talked at length about how many titles we're hitting the Quest store this month, we keep getting these comments in the Discord, in the chat, on the video. You've got to try Knock. You have got to try Knock. Knock is the game of the month. It's excellent. I play it every day. I love it. You guys have got to get Knock. And we all thought it was cool. We've been planning on it. We've been busy. But today we finally broke down and did just that. We all three went in together and tried Knock for the first time. So this is from Normal, the developers that brought us half and half for free on the Quest store. It came out on the 10th of March. Only $10 for this one, after originally having been priced at 25. First of all, Roots, good move with the price move, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Really good move. It put it in a price point that almost makes it a no-brainer. It makes it a no-brainer to try at minimum, right? And my thing I'll tell the community right now, if you're thinking about doing this as a esport or being the champ, give up now, because us three, me, Wes, and Eric, we got this shit nailed. We're gonna kick your
Over.
ass, or we're gonna get our asses kicked by and not score any points. This game has got a good learning curve. As easy as the moves are, man, I'll tell you what, it is definitely not. If you're going up against people that know what they're doing, you're gonna be watching the ball go in the goal a lot, and then you're gonna get excited when you score on your own goal, because at least you fucking scored on the goal. It's crazy. It was good.
Eric, this game has excellent archery. It has awesome intuitive movement controls. It's an easy to pick up concept. But we didn't score a goal, did we?
No. This game is awesome, man. This game is awesome, and I hate it. That's all I'm gonna say. Really, don't take whatever I say because I just don't like this game. It's not for me. I'm sure it's for a lot of people, and it is super cool. I'm gonna say it's gonna be weird because I'm gonna say a lot of great things about it, and I'm gonna go, it's not for me. So the movement is super fast. It's really intuitive. You can get the movement down pretty quick, but I think it's gonna take something to master. So it's approachable, but it's gonna take you a while to get really, really good at it. The archery is great. It's quick, it's fast, it's accurate, which is good. You like where you think you should be hitting, is where the arrow goes. Um, the arenas are pretty kind of bland. I mean, there's only one and they seem kind of basic. But there's a lot to it. It's just again, but I hate Echo Arena, and I think this is kind of like Echo Arena for me. And it's just not something that I would enjoy doing. But I can see why everybody loves this game because it is competitive and it's super easy to get into a game. We matched up, all three of us, really easy. So I like that. I like that you can get in and get with your buddies and play. You can play up to with four of your buddies, and which is super cool. And if you only got two of you, then it'll just put you in a 2-person match, right? Or three, you get a 3-person match. So 3-on-3. So yeah, I think this game is great for somebody else, just not for me. Just not for me.
Yeah, it became obvious very quickly that one of two things is the case here. One, they don't have balanced matchmaking, meaning they don't put people on similar experience levels against people with the same experience level. Or two, at this point, 2 weeks into the game, 3 weeks in, there are no noobs left playing it. We were the only ones because these guys were literally shooting the ball from tip off, right? They dropped the ball in. They were shooting the ball over our heads and into the goal immediately. Just as soon as they drop the ball into play, they shoot it. It flies over our heads and goes in the goal. Just obviously these guys were on a way different level. And I could tell that this is a fun game. I could tell that I would enjoy it if I were in there with someone who was a noob, just like me. But it's not very fun to go in there and just get your ass handed to you constantly. And this is a game that it's going to take experience to get good at. And I just don't know that any of us have the patience to go in there and just get destroyed. I don't know that we would be able to get good at this game because, the games would kind of have to be semi-competitive for you to get used to the controls and how to play it. It was not competitive at all most of the time, and for that matter, there are mechanics at play here that they don't explain during the tutorial that we still don't know how to do. Like these players were like shooting the ball toward the goal, and then when the ball would get ready to cross in front of the goal, they would put a block, like a literal block in midair, and it would ricochet the ball into the goal. To this day, or to this moment, we still don't know how to make those blocks or where they came from. But these guys were using them to destroy us. It was not a fun experience. But again, we could tell it's a very well done, polished game. Everything works well. It's a great concept. It's easy to pick up. But they need, well, first of all, they need a more detailed tutorial, and they need a better practice mode, which teaches you all of the mechanics and maybe even some strategy. Because I feel like if you could get in here with legit bots that play like real people play and are, kind of play down to your level, I feel like you could get better at this game. But I don't know how you're going to do it in there with these pros just totally, making a mockery of you while you're in there.
One person the whole time, right, Mash? One person was bitching at the other guy and saying, look, dude, like, go easy on him. Like, because we could hear him talking. And everybody else from the beginning to the end with you, Wes, was just like, fucking, let's just rub these people's faces in the fact that they don't know what the fuck is happening. But it was still fun. That was a thing. That was my take. And that was exactly what I told Wes. I said, I said the same thing that Mash said. I said, I don't think this is for me, only because I don't want to put the time to get really good at it. I really see that if you could get good at it, if I spent the time, this could be phenomenal. Like, I love Rocket League. And this is the other thing that I don't really like. And I guess we kind of figured it out at the end with the arrows, that you run out of arrows, you miss the arrows, you go to use an arrow and there's nothing there. And it might be a problem because somebody's coming to score on you. You need to stop them. You can't. But I didn't know that there was the individual one. So there's a thing that's at play, right? That isn't really normally there in games like this, like Rocket League, where, you're going after them kind of with your car and that's how you stop them. And so you really never run out of your car. And when you run out of arrows, that's just such a frustrating point to be at. And that's just a getting better thing. Because if you don't miss, you'll never run out. Like, as long as you're always hitting, you're always going to be good. So there's definitely a lot of skill to this.
And what that does basically is if you're like me and you like to take shots from distance, if you're a distance shooter with regards to archery, you can't really do that here because the ball moves too quickly and you lose your arrows that way. So literally it becomes like soccer, but instead of kicking the ball, you run up to it and shoot it, which kind of defeats the purpose of the archery in a way. It just kind of makes the archery into a novelty instead of a skill thing. So yeah, I agree with you. Having that limited ammo was certainly, um, at least for us, it was a detriment.
Yeah.
Well,
I have
Raza
one.
says, "Learn."
I was just gonna say,
Well,
I have
Raza says,
one thing to say though. Ross,
"Sure."
the 15-year-old kid who was talking shit to us, I'm gonna find your mom. I'm gonna date her. Just to let you know, I'm gonna hit on her. I'm gonna date her. Ross, if you're out there listening, you little punk. No, I'm just kidding. It was funny. He was talking shit to us, but it was funny.
I'm gonna put it in her butt, dude. It's all your fault. Oh. Wolveraza says that we need to learn from losing and mimic your destroyer. That's easier said than done. This game is so fast paced, dude. It is very fast paced. It's hard to just keep up with the ball, let alone pay attention to what the other team is doing. But I certainly understand the sentiment. Maybe that's really the only thing you can do, right?
If you're playing against these guys, I don't even know how you would do that. My whole thing was just like, I was in awe of what was happening. Things were just flying all over the place. And yeah, it was definitely really, really cool game. I can see where it's going to be really big as soon as I think they need to implement those changes though, Wes. And
it's important because it won't be really big if every time someone new picks up the game, they allow these level 50 players just to come in and cream everyone. It's like these guys were defending their game from new players. It's like, don't come in here and play. Don't enjoy yourself. We own this, the 10 of us, and no one else can play.
Yeah.
Yeah. We literally we didn't score one goal the whole night. I mean, we had
0.
Eight matches.
That's why I said when I said I'm done. At the end, I said, man, it was like the last match we did. It was 0-16, and I was like, at some point, I just wanted to score one, just one, or watch match somebody.
And while I was waiting for you guys to get out of that match and join up with me in the party, I was practicing, and I was feeling pretty good about my. My skills. I was hitting long distance shots on a moving target, knocking it in the goal. I'm like, dude, I'm going to be great at this. This is right down my alley. And I got into the game and realized it's nothing to do with being a good archer. Nothing at all.
It's funny. I laugh because that's exactly what I told Mash. I said, dude, I said, I'm going to be so good at this. I can feel it. I'm rocking this. And then we went in there and got our asses handed to us. It was literally what I said. And I literally said, Wes is going to be phenomenal at this because he's really good at in death and archery. And Knock proved us wrong. We were all wrong.
I knew I was gonna suck. I said, Ruuts, I'm not gonna be good at this game. I'm telling you right now. Ruuts is,
Anyway.
he thought he was gonna be good. He was like, yeah, I think I got it.
I got this, dude. I'm going to be really good.
And then we were like, oh, where's Wes, man? He's gonna kick ass in this game. We got to get him in here because he's so good at archery. Doesn't matter.
Nope. I can shoot the ball. But it's always going toward our goal. So literally every time I hit it, it would just stop its progress for about 3 seconds till they hit it again, and then it was over.
Yeah, crazy.
Anyway, a great game that we suck at and probably won't put enough time in to ever get good at because we don't like losing. It sucks. But worth the $10. Certainly worth the $10 if you're into this sort of thing. It would probably. Can you do private matchmaking in it? Can you bring your own friends?
You can do custom games and stuff, and that's the thing. This game is really good. I mean, just because we're suck at it, don't let us make you think that it's not. I mean, everything about this game is done well. It's just I suck at it, and
I'd be willing to go back in if we had our own players. Like if we made our own matches on the Discord and it's other people who were new. I think that's kind of what we're going to have to do here. If there's any hope of us ever playing it again, I think we're going to have to pick some guys out of the Discord and get good with them.
Yeah.
First.
Yeah, I would for sure do that. That would be fun.
Yep. So you guys let us know. Show us the ropes.
Yep.
Somebody tell me how to put the fucking blocks up. Got to be somebody
I
here.
know, right?
There's still nobody's answered. Does anybody know how to put the blocks up?
I don't know. I'll tell you what, Wes was right off the bat. He was like, within a couple matches, he's like, fuck this, man. I need to find out how they're doing this.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's bad enough that we're going in with a severe experience disadvantage. But then when there are other game mechanics that we don't even know how to apply, I mean, it's an impossible situation.
Yeah.
Anyway. It's a good game. Go buy
it. As we shit all over it.
Yeah.
Oh man. Let's talk about Alvo from Martin Pole. We talked a lot in the earlier segment about games finally making their way into the PSVR catalog. This one comes the other way from the PSVR catalog into the Oculus Quest store on the 17th of March for a very reasonable $25. That was a good sign right off the bat, Eric, as this game launched on PlayStation for $40. Good to see them learn from that experience and bring this thing into the Quest store at a reasonable price.
Yeah, if it was 40, it would have got killed here. I mean, it got killed a little bit as it is already, but it would have got killed if it was 40. And I think 25 is its sweet spot. It's exactly where it needs to be, and I think it's worth $25.
Ruuts, a bit of a different shooter here, coming into a platform that already has quite a few competitive multiplayer shooters. This game absolutely does offer something different, though, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. It offers kill streaks. It offers movement that doesn't exist on any other platform. I've seen people say, you can slide in contractors now, not like this. Can you slide around corners, bro? This is more fast paced. And this is one of the things that I see a lot of people kind of complain about this. And maybe they do need bigger maps, maybe they don't. But that's one of the reasons why Alvo is different, is the smaller maps and the fast pace. It just makes it chaos. Some people like it, some people don't. If you're not into fast pace, you're probably not going to like this. But it is absolutely different.
Eric, people saying that it's a bit small. I think that's that has some legitimacy to it, because at times Alvo feels like it's less about skill and more about luck. I mean, you shoot somebody in the back, then you get shot in the back. Lather, rinse, and repeat, right?
Yeah, I mean, you got to find a good mix, and that's tough to do with these games because a big part of this is kill streaks. So you need to, you want to get those kill streaks. So you need to get kills, and you don't want to be running around the map for minutes without finding anybody. So, but then again, like exactly what you said, you don't want to shoot somebody and then automatically get shot because you just happen to be in the wrong spot. Or you don't want the map so small that you're spawned in, and as soon as you spawn, you get killed because there's somebody camping right there, or I mean, you're right on top of somebody else. So I think you have to find a happy mix between these maps. There's some contractors maps that I go into. They're huge, man. You can run around for minutes without seeing anybody, especially if you don't have a full lobby. So I think they're close here. I think maybe a little bit more. I know they have other maps coming. Maybe if you could have a couple of these small maps where you could, if you want to go in for a certain thing and pick a small map, then you have a couple large maps to get into as well if you want to be more spread out. And I think they'll get there because I can tell you, Martin Pole, they're actively working on this game right now. They are far, far from finished messing with this thing right now.
Yeah, and that's kind of the good thing about this, isn't it, Eric? That the game is still in active development on Quest. It's about to get an update anytime now with larger maps on it, as well as new gameplay modes. I mean, they're getting ready to add zombies in, aren't they?
Yeah, zombies. They have another map coming. Which is supposed to be a much larger map. I think it's the desert map or something like
That's
that
right.
it's called, and
And
it's going to be
they're going to do a daytime and nighttime version of it as well.
yeah, which I love. I mean, I love that you have most of all. I think it's either all the maps or most of all the maps have a daytime nighttime mode because it does change. It changes the way you play the map sometimes. Especially where spots where you can't see at night. So yeah, I mean, and I'm really looking forward to the desert map too, and the zombie mode. Who doesn't want to play zombies? And if they have perks in there, like anything like Call of Duty, I don't know exactly how they're going to be, but you know, I'm curious to see how they do that with the zombies.
Gamertag VR joining the chat. What's up, friend? Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. He says, "Who's hyped for GH? Anybody have any idea what the hell he's talking about?" Oh,
I
Green Hell, Green Hell, of
yeah,
course.
yeah.
Tomorrow,
For some reason, I couldn't think about it. I am kind of psyched about it.
I am too. I'm psyched because that physics demonstration that they did on the Oculus Quest was impressive, and we are going to be covering Green Hill on the channel. We do have review copies of the game, so stay tuned for more on that one. But yeah, looking forward to getting into this one, and looking forward to the PC release when it comes next month.
Yeah, hopefully it's not as janky as GT's demo experience was.
Well, I mean that was a PC, the PC version, and people say that the Quest version is a bit more far along. So we're gonna find out, right?
Yep.
Anyway, back to Alba Roots. Good selection of weapons in active development. More maps coming, more game modes coming. I know when we were still in the honeymoon phases with this game, you were putting it over as, you know, the best shooter of its kind on Oculus Quest, putting it over Pavlov, putting it over contractors. Do you still harbor those feelings, or have we come off of that a little bit?
No, I think so. This is the thing. They need to, if they can get competitive as far as game modes and maps. That's the one things that those two games have over them. And I don't know that they'll ever catch up to Pavlov with game modes because that game is crazy with so many different options, TTT and all sorts of crap. But as long as they add maps to this, I think they're good. The gameplay's there. Everything is there. They just need more maps. And as much as I do like the night and day modes, I don't consider a night and day two different maps. It's the same map to me. It's just a different time of the day. You know what I mean? Like, so when they say, "Oh, we got 8 maps," and it's now you got 4. So they really
it does. I'm sorry to interrupt you. It does affect the gameplay, though.
It will,
especially in these maps where people like to take high ground and snipe. Much more difficult to use a strategy like that at night.
yeah, it does change some things. I just would not. I would love to see, imagine a Call of Duty came out with just that many maps, and so they need to keep that kind of thought process going when you're trying to model a Call of Duty type of game, which is this is the closest thing you got to it. the more maps, the better. And Mash is right with having options. One of the beauties that I love about Call of Duty is Nuketown. I love fast-paced maps, but sometimes I don't want to play fast-paced. And I want to go to a bigger one or a medium-sized one. So if you give people good options in that respect, I think this game will take over. And they need to address every issue that they've been. I think they've already fixed all the controller-based issues as far as the jumping and all of that stuff. So hopefully that's all balanced out. So.
Gamertag VR in the chat says Alvo is confusing fun. Fun for the chaos. Confusing when someone asks me to throw a grenade. Eric, a lot of people had a lot to say about the maps, but I think even more so, most of the complaints with this game were control based. But as people got experience with them, a lot of people kind of got used to it and came off of their initial impressions. What do you think? Do you think that they need to alter the control scheme in a dramatic way in order to make it more palatable to traditional VR players?
I think with anything like this, people don't like change. So, and when you give them something different, so if they go in expecting contractors play, and you give them something different, they don't like it. You know what I mean? Or they don't give it a chance. And if you give this control scheme a chance, and you play with it for a little bit, it can be really intuitive and really good. Like, I prefer the way it is now. If they changed it, I would hope they give you options so you can still play it this, in the configuration it launched with. But I can see where people get weirded out. They just don't want to play it that way. So I think they're doing the right thing if they give us options. If you can do it, put it in there where I can play the way you want me to, or I can play the way I want to. If you have to mirror contractors, make it an option. Um, I just don't. I just with the sliding and the things like that. I just don't know if you could do it well if you do it with the contractors controls. But that's what people want, man. They want the same. But you know, you got to
Roots,
give
do you
this a
think?
chance.
Roots, do you think adding in a wide variety of control options might create a situation where certain players have an advantage over others? Because this is such a fast-paced game, milliseconds make a difference in this game.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you could adapt to like an easier mode or something, for sure. I mean, everybody should be playing the same. I mean, for the most part, just for that competitive nature. But, people just need to give things a chance, you know, you know, I've said this before about Dying Light. It's very weird. They're jumping on the R1 button was very bizarre to me. And after playing that game, I wish every game did that. It's so intuitive, and most games use A, on a gamepad, and that's the traditional thing. And I'm sure there's some people that said this is bullshit. I'll never play Dying Light because I can't stand pushing the R1. But it's just getting used to something different. And I agree with what Mash said. It's once you get used to it, it's very intuitive. And it's getting used to it, because there is frustration of trying to jump in the middle of trying to do something in the middle of battle and doing something else and then dying because of it. People don't like that. So that's the problem.
So an interesting entry for Game of the Month. A lot to like here. Yeah, a lot of criticism from the fan base. It'll be interesting as we get toward the bottom of our list to see where Alvo stock actually stacks up. Simplex joining us from Poland. What's up, friend? Thanks for stopping by. Gamertech VR says the living remains made my day very weird yesterday. Went in expecting massive things. Came away thinking it was just another zombie shooter. Amazing feat for two people, though. I agree with that sentiment largely. I did enjoy The Living Remains. But we have other people in the content creator space that are comparing this game to Half-Life Alyx and Resident Evil 4. It's not a AAA game, man. It's an indie game made by two people. With that said, if you like Arizona Sunshine, you're going to love this game. I would call this Arizona Sunshine Plus. It does everything Arizona Sunshine does. It has some some better physics going on. You've got some gun upgrades and things of that nature, and there's a bit more reason to explore in this game. But if I had to compare it to anything, I would say Arizona Sunshine's the one. Eric, thoughts really quickly on the Living Remains.
Yeah, I mean it's nothing new. I mean we're getting pretty much, GT's right. I mean it's nothing earth shattering here where we're going, oh my god, this is an amazing game. I don't think we're going to get that probably until we see the PlayStation VR 2. You know what I mean? That's when we're going to start seeing some, holy crap, this is amazing. This is new, this is different. But for what it is, it's great. For a 1999 game, you're going to give me more zombies, you're going to give me great shooting, you're going to give me good guns, you're going to give me nice environments, and it is a feat to believe that only two people did this. Can you imagine what a full team with some funding behind this could have done? Makes me hopeful for what we're going to see coming up soon. But I had fun in it. It wasn't like they did nothing wrong. We'll put it that way. They did nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with this game. It's fun. It's got a cool story. It looks really good. There's some jank. I mean, the melee is not great. There's some hit detection that's a problem. But for the most part, I was happy with it, and I'll probably go back into it, and I'll probably finish it just because I love zombie games, I love shooters, and it was fun.
I agree with that. Like, I'm definitely going to finish this game. I had a blast. The only reason I even stopped streaming it last night is because I didn't want to give the whole game away. Um, but I enjoyed it, and for $20, I mean, if you're into that type of thing, if you like Arizona Sunshine, if you like, um, what's the really good one on Quest that I always forget the name of,
Uh,
Death Horizon
whoa,
Reloaded.
yeah, that's a good one.
If you like those two games, you're gonna love this one, and I'm having a blast with it. And for $20, man, I mean Arizona Sunshine's $40. You know what I'm saying? This is, I would say it's as good as Arizona Sunshine, although I don't know if it's going to be quite as much game as Arizona Sunshine is.
I wish I could have had access to it. But I guess you can't get into it for a Steam copy from an Oculus Quest, which is kind of crappy. Onikazi says, in case you missed the context, for blocks and knock, shoot the arrow, then press A or X with the hand you draw the bowstring back with, and tilting your leading hand will adjust the angle of the block for when you hit the button to make it appear. So you hit A or X, I guess, to make the block appear on the.
So you can turn the arrow into a block by pressing A or X.
Correct.
Oh, that's cool.
And you can change the direction of it by changing, adjusting the angle of the block. I guess your leading hand or something. So
Again, another thing that you're going to want to practice a lot, and it would be nice if we didn't have people running your head into the ground. You know what I mean? I guess we need to get in the practice mode.
yeah,
Or like we said, get in there and do private matches with some noobs like us to get good at it.
You
Yeah.
can just keep going to the tutorial where they tell you how to do the blocks. Oh wait.
Oh, that's right. They never mentioned the blocks. It's like, what are these blocks? I was like, I don't know.
Wolveraza says Death Horizon's getting better all the time. Manual reload kind of weird for now, but I'm sure they'll polish it. Glad they're even trying to put it in the game. Yeah, hearts and minds out to those guys. These guys are Ukrainian developers, and they're literally struggling for their lives right now and trying to protect their family and loved ones. They put another message out a few days ago, asking for patience. As they they definitely want to stick to their roadmap, but obviously it's going to be delayed now due to events in the world. So shout out to those guys, and I hope things things are better soon for you, and I hope that you're staying safe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, I guess on the same day that Albo came out, we got Star Tenders from Foggy Box Games. $15 for this one. This one has a few people singing its praises.
Mm.
This is one that I did not check out
What?
this month. Eric, looks like a cooking game to me. What do you think?
Yeah. Love it. I can't wait. I'm gonna get into this tomorrow, I think. No.
Right.
Yeah, we just it's with the amount of games. I mean, there's no way we can play everything on every platform, and this is one of the ones that we just couldn't play. And I'm sure it's a fantastic cooking bartender game, and that's really all I have to
Zany.
say.
Bartenders,
Zany.
bro.
Yeah.
You could be Isaac from the
Like-
Love Boat.
Actually, that would be one I would play.
Roots, any desire to check out Star Tenders? I put it on the list because I mean, some people were saying that this is a fun game to play.
I bet it would be pretty cool. I mean, this is not, I mean, if I had nothing to do and it was in my library, and I mean, I could see it be entertaining, right? Different, but I mean, it's what you said. It looks like a cooking game. It looks like a genre that I'm not normally interested in anyway. So I don't care if it's in the stars or if it's it's drinks or cooking. It is what it is.
So see, Gamertag says Star Tenders was surprisingly good. There you go. I told you, some people like this game, and if you're in that group, if you're in the chat, and you think Star Tenders should be the game of the month, now is your time to speak up, because we're only halfway through the quest list, and we'll put it in the poll at the end if anyone here thinks that this was the best quest game this
I
month.
just want to know, GT, how long did it take you to finish the game? Oh, you probably didn't finish it. You say it's surprising. How far did you go into it? Because we get in so many of these games. For me, a game that's like, if it's really good, I want to go back in. Are you gonna go back into it? Is the question. Or for me,
You know what I did get into a couple of times this month? The Tale of Inaugural. This coming to us from Amata KK. This is the developer that brought us Last Labyrinth on various VR platforms in the last gen. Same day, March 17th, $30 for the Tale of Inaugural. And we didn't really know what to expect with this one going in Roots. And you know, early on, a bit worried. Certainly some reminders of Last Labyrinth, but as you get further into the game, a lot of that stuff goes away, and there's a little fun to be had here, isn't there?
yeah. I guess would you consider this as a puzzler, right? Kind of like Last Labyrinth, except for instead of killing her, you know what I mean, and the ways that they did it. I really enjoyed it. I thought what was cool is they took that kind of like with Red Matter, with the controllers, right? Or your two guns or whatever they are. You're like literally holding, you look down and you see your joystick and your buttons, and it's all in the thing. And I just really I guess I played about an hour or so far into this, and I was really impressed. I did think it started a little bit slow, but as far as story wise, but it was production value was really good, and I like the puzzles were good so far. A little bit easy, but I mean not too far in.
Eric, an interesting take on a puzzle game, isn't it?
Yeah, I love this game. I really had a lot of fun. I played this today for the first time, and I got through just a little bit past the first boss. And I had a blast with it. I think the premise is cool. What Brute said, with the way the controls are, with the way you have these grippy shooting guns that can grab stuff, or it's just a cool premise. I like the idea. I like the controls. The story seems pretty cool. I love the style, the anime type style of it. You can tell it's very, very Japanese. Even to the point where a lot of some of the dialogue is, it just has that feel to it. You know what I mean? That very Japanese anime style feel to the dialogue, which I loved. And I thought it was really good. And this is one of these games where I'm like, I want to go back in, because there's some of these bosses that you see later, or these that look amazing. It's not just a puzzler, because there's some combat in here. There's a
Yeah.
lot of combat in here
Yep.
that I really liked. So I mean, it's a puzzler to get through these worlds to get to the boss, but then there's combat when you get to the boss. So I thought it was great. And yeah, I'm really digging this game. This is one that I was talking to Roots about earlier. It is a little slow to start, but man, I like it.
Yeah, too much dialogue in the front end of the game. They're giving you the story, but it's all from that little girl. Like you go through an easy section of game, and then she gives you 3 to 4 minutes of dialogue. Then you do another easy section, another 3 or 4 minutes of dialogue. Um, I was really worried during the early levels that this was going to be a very boring game, but I was happy as I got along, um, and the game progressed. It's a puzzler with boss fights, which is pretty cool. And I mean, it's not just boss fights. There's other enemies as well, but you kind of have to work puzzles to be able to fight them. It's a unique game, and that's something that we're typically looking for is something that's very unique. And I can't really think of anything to compare this to. Can you, Roots?
No, no, I just thought it was cool. I didn't know what to expect because, most of these anime things I just don't like. And I really did enjoy this one. So,
Yeah, I need to get into it more. It was just getting starting to get good when I stopped playing it. But I did enjoy it. I was enjoying it by the time I stopped. So, yeah, this one definitely going to get another visit from me.
They cut this poor
Uh,
girl's arm off, Wes, and her leg off, and they took
and
her
her
eye out,
eye,
man.
it
Holy
took her
shit.
eye, bro.
I was like, holy crap, this was like in the first part cutscene. They're like, he's like, I already took your leg, I already took your arm. Now I'm gonna take your eye, and you're like, holy crap, dude.
she's pretty good. She's
That's
got a
it.
pretty good attitude for that. You know what I mean? She's
She
pretty,
does. She's kind of happy.
yeah.
Isn't it kind of weird though that you can do all this crazy powerful shit because you're this powerful being from another plane, but apparently you're not able to break a chain or pull a sword out of a rock because this girl stays chained to a rock. At least the whole time that I played it, she was chained to a rock.
Yeah, it's magic rock. I think it's a cursed rock or something.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't know.
cursed rock. Yeah.
You know who else likes to be chained up?
My
I do.
mom!
Yeah, she does.
Anyway, moving right along. Next week brought us Tentacular, developed by Fire Punch Games and published by Devolver Digital on the 24th of March. $25 for this one. Another one, the only other one on our list that I didn't have a chance to play this month. Again, much like Star Tenders, there are people out there saying that this is a good game, and hence it's on our list. Um, any thoughts, Eric, on Tentacular?
I do not. I did not play this game at all, so I really don't want to say anything. I mean, that hasn't stopped me before, but I'm not going to say anything this time. I'm sure looks like it's fun. I mean, it looks like it's cool, cool mechanic. So yeah, I
Charming,
just did. Yeah,
charming.
charming, very, very charming.
Roots, any desire to check out Tentacular?
If it was in the library, yeah, I would check it out. It looks like it could be cool. Am I going to spend $25 on to find out if it's cool or not?
Is
Absolutely
that what
not.
this game was? This game was $25.
Yeah.
25 bucks. That's right.
No.
So it looks like it could be really cool. It looks like it could be one of those games that you see Gamertag try, and he's like, "Man, this is amazing!" So you go out and get it. But we didn't get access to it, so I'm not going to run out and buy it for $25. But it's got that that feel of like you're messing with I can't remember what the damn stupid name is in school, where you diorama or whatever, right?
Right. Yeah. It's very much one of those exploration of the diorama games, but apparently it has a little bit of character. Literally, the characters have character. The game has character. There's story at play here, and it's kind of like a mystery game, even though it does seem like a bit of a kind of a use your hands type of thing. This is not Job Simulator. This is something totally different.
Yeah, it looks different for sure.
Squid Simulator.
Yes.
Thoughts on the price tag, Eric?
I again, I don't want to say because I haven't played it, but come on, $25. $25. This is what you're gonna. I mean, what? Look at some of the games. Tale of Benagra was $30. I mean, how are you going to charge $25 for this game? I mean, this is crazy. We've got freaking Warplanes is how much is Warplanes?
$15.
Warplanes is $15. $15 for Warplanes. You're gonna charge me $25 for Tentacular? It's a $8 game, maybe.
It's got tentacles,
so
I haven't played it. I haven't played it. It's probably great. It's probably a $50 game. Everybody should buy it. The
Gamer
terrain verse and Garbage of the Sea. Go
Gamer
get it.
Tag says I played Tentacular 3 months before release, got bored pretty quick, and never went back. Lovely art style, and I've heard it's great.
There you go. I've heard that it's as good as Half-Life Alyx and Resident Evil 4.
What?
No,
I gotta go
not
tomorrow. I'm
really.
gonna go play
That's the next game, Wes.
it.
Let's talk about the next game. Let's talk about Cosmonious High. This, the latest from Alchemy Labs, came out on the last day of the month for $30. These guys, very famously, the developers that brought us Job Simulator and then subsequently Vacation Simulator. It's another game along those lines. I would class it as a game for children. Not my style, but at the same time, I think it's better than either of their previous two releases. There's more going on here. There's more to do. And it's, as expected, very polished experience. Ruuts, thoughts on Cosmonious High?
Oh, that was cool. I like the abilities, like putting out the fire, and it looked like you were getting to keep them all, because I got to the next ability where you had I guess air. You could blow air or something on electronics so you don't short them out, is my guess. The only thing that, and this is what I was telling Eric, the only thing that I had, okay, so I unlocked the classes. I went into the first classroom, and they put the lesson down, and I started looking at it, and I was thinking, I don't want to do a fucking school lesson, dude. Like, it was legit. Like, it was like you were going to do all these different things, right? And I was thinking exactly what Eric said. I said, man, my kid would like it, but I was like, man, I don't want to go back to school, bro. And so there were so many cool things about this, but at the same time, the literal classroom aspect, at least the one lesson that they put in front of me, I looked at it for 5 seconds and decided I don't know. And Eric, you said you kind of had the same response, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is a great game for my daughter, 7-year-old daughter. This is not a game that I am going to play ever. I mean, Alchemy is great, and if they're making this for kids, great, fantastic. Kids, I want kids to play VR. Go play. You know, my daughter loves Vacation Simulator. She is going to flip for this game, and as soon as I played it tonight, I'm like, you need to get in this game because you're going to have a blast in here. But I would never go in. I feel like Ruth said, I was like, it's like more class. I don't want to go. I don't want to do any more lessons, because I was like, oh, I got to go put this disc in, and they got to do this. And I mean, it looks beautiful. The controls are spot on. It's great. Alchemy knows how to do these things. I mean, I wish there wasn't teleport only. That bothers me. And snap turn only. That bothers me. But other than that, Alchemy makes these games. If you like Job Simulator and you love, and these are your games and these are your jam, this is great. You're gonna like this game. But to me, those games were 2016. You know, those are games you do when you first get into VR to go, oh my God, I can manipulate these things and real, you know, and like I'm really there. And then it's over for me. I never need to touch it ever again. So this is more of that. Alchemy is fantastic. They're great. If you have kids, get this game.
You know, I did the same thing, Eric. I brought my 10-year-old in here and showed him the game because he loves Job Simulator. He loves Vacation Simulator. I showed him this, and then he said, do any of the VR games have wizards in them? I said, yeah, there's lots of VR games with wizards in them. He said, do any of them have you moving your hands around to cast spells? I said, yeah. Well, the Wizard's Dark Time does that. And then he played Wizard's Dark Times for like 90 minutes. Did not care about this at all.
He knows what he likes, and
yeah,
he has good taste.
Exactly. Yeah, he's been watching Doctor Strange a lot, so
how cool.
That's why.
It just was so cool. That just shows you how kids are so, man, I love, it's so innocent, right? And they just see something and they just want to do it. And so that's what's VR is so cool right now. You can go in and be a wizard in there.
Yeah, and he had no trouble picking it up either. I didn't help him at all. I started, you know, I put him on the landing page for the game, put him in the headset. He started it up, and he was casting the spells. Like I said, he played it for 90 minutes, and he was, from what I can tell, progressing through it pretty well. So, yeah, good on him, man.
That's cool.
Yeah, awesome.
Anyway, Cosmonious High, extremely polished. I really like some of the trippy visuals. They had some cool visual effects going on in this game. But as far as the gameplay goes, it's more of that job simulator type stuff. It's a little bit deeper than that. I mean, I'll give it that. It's a deeper game than Job Simulator, Vacation Simulator. Someone in the chat a minute ago likened it to Floor Plan 2. I think Floor Plan 2 is a better game than this, to be quite honest. I liked Floor Plan 2. I did not care for this all that much. Not that I thought it was a bad game, just again, just not for me. But if you have kids out there, um, they probably will enjoy this. And I'm not even all that mad at the $30 price tag. This is a highly polished VR game, and shit like that costs money.
It's very deep. Like you said, I feel like Job Simulator had a level of depth, and then Vacation Simulator came out and it was deeper, and this is even deeper than that one. So
Alchemy knows their wheelhouse. This is their wheelhouse. They make these games great for what they are, and there are people out there that want to play these games. I know there are younger people. There are casual gamers that don't want anything but this type of stuff. So I'm glad we do have games like that for these people. And $30 it's worth it. This is a $30 value. If you look at this game, you get in there and you look at it, look at the visuals and look at the gameplay. It's worth $30. Good.
Yeah.
Not for me.
Absolutely. So this was going to be our list, and then something occurred to me. App Lab is a thing, and we got a very, very good game that hit App Lab on the 30th of March. $15 from HomeNet Games. Warplanes, Battles Over Pacific hit, and Roots, I enjoyed the original Warplanes. I got in here and checked this one out, and I liked it even more. The gameplay nearly 1-to-1, but you get newer stuff. Newer's better. You got newer planes. It's World War II instead of World War I. Things are not quite as primitive. Really enjoyed Planes Battles Over Pacific. Did you have a chance to check this one out?
I did not, and actually, I was having trouble finding which platform was in, and I ended up going into all those other games instead. But this is definitely on my list to go into, and I enjoyed the first one. So,
Eric, very high quality aviation game, probably the best aviation game on Oculus Quest.
Yeah, I think this version of the game hands down beats any other game out there, and that includes what's the other one?
Ultra Wings.
Yeah, Ultra Wings. Ultra Wings 2 is great, and we said at the time when it came out, yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, it might even be better than the original Warplanes. This game is better. It's better. It looks good. It's one of the best looking games on the Quest I've seen. You get into some of these, you see this video, you get into some of these things where you see that sun setting through these clouds, and you see the sun rays breaking through. It is beautiful. On the water, there's different shades of color in the water. The battleships are detailed, the plane cockpits detailed, and it flies great. To me, the first Warplanes, with the type of planes it was just a little bit too slow for me. This scratches every itch I had for that type of flying game, and I absolutely love this game. It's so good. The fact that the fact that these guys are charging $15 for this game is insane. This is crazy. This is that good of a game.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. And the difference between this and something like Ultra Wings, besides the obviously this is on a different level in terms of graphics. This looks like a PCVR game on Oculus Quest. Outside of that, this game, fun from the very first mission, where with a game like Ultra Wings, you've got 30, 45 minutes of, menial tasks just to kind of get into the game to begin with. This one, you start the game running. It's the first mission is a lot of fun, and it's uphill from there. Beyond that, super intuitive and easy to pick up. I suck at flying games. I typically crash a lot before I learn how to fly. Has never been the case with the Warplanes game. I always get right into these games and can fly right off the bat. Easy to play, beautiful, fun missions, multiplayer. This game offers a whole lot. And then when you consider, again, $15. I mean, it's nuts. This is one of the best games that's come out on Quest this year.
Yeah.
App Lab.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, man. What's up with that?
I'm not gonna go into it.
It could, yeah, like we
Maybe-
said, it could be their choice. So for all we know, right?
Yeah, it very well
yeah,
could
maybe
be.
they want to be on App Lab, right? Who doesn't want to be on App Lab?
Well, but like we were saying, Gamertag made the point
know,
that
I
it's
know.
easier to upload or update. So
Yeah, I know. I'm being facetious.
This
I
game,
know.
if they feel they need to work on this game, I don't know what they could do to make it any better. I had zero any issues of jank. The gameplay is fantastic. It's it was perfect for me. I don't know what else to say. I mean, matchmaking was great. We got into all kinds of multiplayer matches. I thought it was perfect. I don't even know what they could improve or what they would think they would need to improve where they would be afraid to put it in the store, or maybe they just didn't want to have to deal with Oculus to get it in the store. They just said, "Screw it, let's go to App Lab." But yeah, I mean, I just wish they would fix the App Lab. That's all.
yeah,
All right, so
perfect.
we're gonna do a poll here to try to kind of sort all of this out. The problem is the polls are limited to 4 choices,
Hmm.
and I think that we have 5 contenders here. So I need your guys' input on what we should eliminate. We have Vox Machina, Knock, Alvo, The Tale of Inagaro, Warplanes. Which is the
Wow.
weakest link?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Solid month for Oculus Quest, huh?
Seriously.
And that's not even counting Virtuoso, which was also awesome, just not a game.
Yeah. I'm gonna I'll probably vote for Alvo just because they needed to fix some things and they had a lot of patches to do.
Right.
That's the only because I think I still think it's one of the best multiplayer games out there. But with the other list, I think Vox has to stay on there. It's that good. Knock again, people love it. It's not a game that maybe we like, but a lot of people do, and that's okay. So I think just because of that, it needs to stay on the list. And Tale of Inagaro is that good, and Warplanes very might take this whole thing, so that has to stay too. So
Diz agrees with you, Eric. What say you, Roots?
I agree as well. You know, Alvo's has had so many issues right around launch, and they're still sorting them out. And I don't think it reaches its potential right now for what it's going to be. And like everything else on that list is actual contender. So to some extent, I mean, really, like with everything that's going to come out by the end of the year, I don't know that any of these are going to be game of the year, but for game of the month, I definitely think at least for this, you knock that out. So
I think it's very
Yeah,
interesting that. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Wes.
No, I was gonna say I removed Alvo based on your guys' opinion. For me, I would have removed Knock, not because we ended up getting our asses handed to us, because I did think it was a good game and I did enjoy it. I think it's very basic for a game of the month candidate. You know, you do one thing in one arena with one avatar. Um, I think that they need to do a little bit more work with it if it's going to be game of the month, game of the year caliber. But you know, a lot of people like it. A lot of people love it a whole lot. So we left that one on the list and removed Alvo. I think Alvo has a lot of potential, and I think that I'm not saying it's a favorite to be game of the year, but I think with some updates that it could be in the discussion for Oculus Quest game of the year later on. But with that said, it was a strong month and it drew the short straw. So sorry about your luck, Alvo. We'll talk to you when PSVR 2 gets here.
yeah, for real. And maybe it'll be a discussion, be like, how did this not get on the list for game of the year? I think Knock could do some really cool things with some different arenas and stuff. You know, I mean,
Yeah,
it's
a
all
lot
about
of potential.
yeah, it's all about the gameplay though, and like you know, like Echo Arena. I don't know how many different arenas it has. It's just a sport, right? But I definitely think it's probably not game of the month either. in my mind.
All right, so
I think it's very
weakest link
telling
aside.
that GT voted for Vox. He's played all these games.
That's true. So I put it to you guys. So a strong lineup. We've got Inauguro, we've got Knock, we've got Warplanes, we've got Vox. Oculus Quest Game of the Month, Eric. What do you say?
Taking Knockout, Warplanes, Tale of Inauguro, or Vox. $15, dude. I'm gonna go Warplane.
Yeah.
If Vox was $20, I'd probably vote Vox. But because of the game it is, and it's $15, I'm gonna vote Warplanes. It's that good. It's probably one of the best games you'll find. It could be the best game on App Lab for sure right now. To the tops on there too, so that's tough. But it's that good, man. Everybody should have this game. It's $15. Go get this game. I'm gonna vote Warplanes.
Eric votes Warplanes. Roots, what say you?
Well, I mean, being that I haven't played Warplanes, I go with Tale of Inauguro, only because there's so much going on there, and like I feel like I just scratched the surface. And like Eric said, it's just very unique, and I'm really kind of I think it's a lot deeper than what we think. So
I had fun with it. I need to play more of it. For me, this wasn't that hard of a decision. I knew pretty much when I finished the list which way I was going to go with it. And as good as Warplanes is, Eric, and as good as Inauguro is, Roots, I think I agree with the chat here. I think Vox Machina is an exceptional title, surprisingly good, and probably the most enjoyment that I had from a Quest game this month. If you're asking me which one am I going to go back into first, that's going to be the one. That it has everything. It has the story campaign. It has the multiplayer. It has the production value. Which to be fair, Warplanes does too, and it is half price. But this isn't value of the month. This is game of the month, and the game I enjoyed the most was Vox Machina. So
you know what's ironic about that, Wes? At least just from my perspective, and I'm not disagreeing with you or the chat. I just uninstalled Vox Machina today. As I was looking through my game list of games I wasn't probably going to go back into, that was one of the ones I decided I'm probably not going back into it. But it definitely is really good, for sure.
So we have a three-way pickle here, guys. We disagree.
I say we go with the chat. I mean, the chat. If the chat's overwhelmingly saying that.
What was the vote?
Yeah, what was the poll actually?
50% of the votes went to Vox Machina. Second place is a tie, Inauguro and Warplanes. Last place, surprisingly, Knock.
I'm for real. So I figured everybody was going to vote for Knock. I swear. I mean, the way that everybody's been talking about Knock and people were saying Game of the Year.
I think it has potential to be Game of the Year once people get into it and they figure out the game and maybe they add some things or change a few things. I don't know. I'm torn. I really think the arrows thing for me is a big problem. That being said, maybe I just don't understand. Maybe there's a very valid reason for why there has to be limited arrows. I just think it like Wolvie said, it changes everything. It kind of makes it weird to me. But
Paradise Decay coming in saying Vox, no brainer.
there you go.
I think our question right now is
Who's
number
runner
one,
up?
do we do a runner up? Number two, is it going to be Tale of Inauguro or Warplanes?
Here's
Or
the
both.
thing. Typically, we would let the chat be the tiebreaker. Vox wins, and then we would name a runner up. And with the runner up, you guys each voted for one. So then we roll to chat, right? What does the chat say?
Same
21
thing.
to 21. It
Mhm.
tied in the chat. So either we have to talk this out or we name two runners up this month.
Tale of Anagro could be that good if we get into it. I mean, like I said, I'm maybe an hour and a half into it, maybe a little over, yeah, probably about an hour and a half into it, and I'm super excited to go back and play more. And if these bosses get bigger and crazier, I could be really into Tale of Anagro. But I can tell you this: most fun I had was probably in Warplanes, man. I had a blast in there, man. You can get in there with like how many people and play? It's so much fun. It looks so good. It's $15.
Let me ask you this, Eric. Which of those two titles has a better chance of being in the Game of the Year discussion, do you think? You think Warplanes is a Game of the Year candidate?
Yeah,
You do? Wow,
I do.
okay.
Over Tale of Anagro? Yeah, probably.
Well, see, my thing is that I don't think Warplanes is going to be a Game of the Year candidate. Anagro, I don't know. Like, I need to play more. Right now, I would put Warplanes as a better game than Anagro, for sure. For sure. And without question. PD says my runner-up is Warplanes, and then Diz the Game Cat says, well, to be fair, PD like Tentacular.
Well, I never played Tentacular. It might be an amazing game. Actually, didn't GT say it was actually pretty fun too? Or wasn't that something else?
Tentacular, he said was boring to him
Oh,
when he
that's
played
right.
the early version of it,
That's right.
but he heard that it was great. So there you go.
We knew this was going to be tough.
And like I said, I heard that it was like Half-Life Alyx or Resident Evil 4, but I didn't really hear that. Anyway, I say we name them both. I say we name both Inaugural and Warplanes as runners-up, and there's no wrong answer here. That means that they both stay alive, and that when it comes to the Game of the Year discussion at the end of the year, us assuming that we have gone back into these games and have more experience to draw on, we'll be able to make the right choice. But if I'm being honest, I think that Vox is better than both of them, and I don't think that's going to change.
Is it a first that we've had 3?
I don't know.
We
Have we ever
might-
done 2 runners up before?
We might have done a couple runners up before, but it's not very common. That's for sure.
Doesn't happen a lot. Are you guys good with that? Name
Yeah,
them 2, or do you want
sounds-
to keep?
Sounds
No, I
good
like
to me.
it.
Wow.
All these games are all worth talking about again. Put it that way.
I think that that we're deadlocked here. I don't think, even if we tried to talk it out, I don't think we're going to come to any kind of consensus with it.
No, we're just going to burn through more time as we're at 2 hours
Let me ask
already.
you guys. Let me ask you.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys. Platform of the month: PSVR or Quest?
As far as quality wise, or
That's the question. Quality or quantity?
well, I mean, it's kind of hard for me to make the decision on that respect. Is like everything that's on the PlayStation VR except for Moss is a rehash, right? From another platform.
But 3 solid ports.
That's true. Yeah.
And then Moss, which is amazing. Great. The only one that I really could say on the whole episode that I would call amazing is Moss.
Right.
Moss is by far the best game on any of these lists.
Platform of the month. Would you rather be a Quest gamer this month or a PSVR gamer, Eric?
Tough, man. That is so tough. I don't know if I could choose.
Good question, isn't it?
Probably PSVR. Moss is that good, guys. I hate to say this for people who can't play it right now. Moss is that fucking good. It's great. It's an amazing game and it looks beautiful. And I hope everybody can play it soon.
But Star Tenders.
I forgot.
Right.
I forgot.
And who has time to
change
play?
my mind.
And who has time to play 10 games anyway, right? Like, and it's not like Stride, Shadow Point, and Republic or anything to sneeze at. Like, those are quality titles as well. So yeah. I agree. I think PSVR is the platform of the month this month.
Yeah. For sure.
Anyway, for what it's worth, Guido 3775 says Warplanes is my choice. Which is funny because coincidentally, Guido3775 just won a copy of Warplanes Battles Over Pacific. Congratulations. You are the winner of that one. Let's
yeah.
see. Let me take a look in my my notes here to see which of these others are quest keys and which ones are PC because they're multi-plat games.
PD says, you know who else likes a lot of testicles? I mean, tentacles?
My mom.
She likes both. She doesn't. She's not picky.
She can get the reach.
Yeah. Well, you know, you've seen those anime porn. I'll leave it there.
Yeah, leave that there.
No, just leave it right there.
All
I'm just gonna stop.
All right, so we've got two more quest games, but one of them is a cross-buy game. So we're going to name the one quest game now for the other quest key, and then after the PCVR, we'll name the winner for the cross-buy title, and then the one straight-up PCVR title that we have to give away. But anyway, the other quest title we had was Shooty Fruity, and the winner of Shooty Fruity was Sir Khalid. So congratulations, Sir Khalid. As usual, guys, hit me up on Discord or via the show email, and we'll get your keys out to you as soon as tomorrow.
Guido
We might not
73
get them to you tonight.
Guido says, "I appreciate it." Well, we appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Super
Thank you
VR
for being
fan.
here.
Yeah. Quickly becoming a staple in our communities.
Yeah, he's fitting right in, isn't he?
Oh,
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on to PCVR. This one should move a little bit more quickly as we have a lot of repeat titles on here, but not so fast. Not so fast, guys, because PCVR got it kicked off in a big way on the 17th of March as Joyway finally brought Outlier to Steam. Eric, as you were saying a moment ago about Warplanes, $15 for Outlier. And a game that's getting better all the time because it is technically an early access game. But it's a load of fun. Super intuitive controls, fun gameplay loop, awesome world. A lot to like about Outlier.
Yeah, and like you said, this game is going to get better and better. They are far from done with this game. By the time it's done, who knows? This could be one of the best games we play this year. By the time because they're still working on like a story mode and a whole background. I mean, again, early access, so we have opportunities here.
Yeah, that was my biggest issue with it is that I needed some kind of story to tie it all together for me. But in terms of gameplay, in terms of the world, Outlier's there right now. But there's a lot more to come with this one, Roots. Have you had a chance to check it out at all?
No, but it's got the same movement as Knock, right? As far as jumping
That's
and
right.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean it's got everything that Returnal has. I mean, just from hearing you guys describe, getting the extra jumps and just everything, it sounds amazing. And definitely, I'm really hoping that they charge more for this when they finish it. And it sounds weird, but like that we need to set that model up. They need to it's smart to put this at $15 in early access, and it's fair. And then when they get it finished and it's at its fullest, then raise it to $30, and then it gives people an incentive to buy it early, right? And it puts everybody in the right box that it needs to be in, and then it rewards everybody. Everybody wins in that scenario, I think. So.
All right,
Yeah.
so I'm going to put forth a question that I don't want your answer now. I just want people to kind of keep this in the back of their mind, and when we get to the bottom of the PCVR list, we will revisit it. Typically, we disqualify early access titles, especially ones that we expect are going to be a lot better when they hit full release. And basically, what we do is we say, well, we're going to save this game for full release, and we'll revisit it then.
Right.
So as we go forward, I want you to keep that in your mind that this is an early access release that really hasn't had many updates yet, if any. And this game's best days may still be ahead of it. But with that said, we move on to the next week Tentacular, Fire Punch Games, $25. We already talked about it. Super charming, super boring,
PC graphics
according
though.
to some.
Charming.
PC,
Right.
yeah, 3080 Ti Mash.
Ooh, you think I could pump it up?
You could crank this shit,
Yeah.
dude.
Hold on. Let's
Definitely.
come back and revisit this next.
It could totally change everything.
But change every vote.
I need to look something up. Hold on.
No,
I'm
Diz
thinking.
the Game Cat says Outlier looked lame AF. I don't get Mash's love for it. It's really good. I don't know. I don't see where you think it looks lame as fuck. I don't see that. It's such a good. You gotta like a roguelite. If you don't like roguelite, I guess I could see where you're like, this is more garbage that you don't really like. But if you like that game, that style of game at all, the movement is so good here. And the speed is good. The weapons are good. They have telekinesis, which is amazing. The environments are really cool. You have boss battles that get insane at the end.
Returnal
So
all over again.
That's the reason why it's on this list. Like, it's an early access game, and like I said, we typically disregard those. But this might be the best PCVR game I played this month. I loved Against from Joyway.
Against.
Outlier's my favorite. Already, Outlier's my favorite Joyway game, and it's not really even close. And it's going to get better. That's the thing. It's going to get better. Anyway, Outlier would be a winner hands down in its current state if it weren't for Warplanes, Battles Over Pacific from HomeNet Games, which just launched on Steam as well. I've been blown away by both Warplanes titles that I've played. With that said, I haven't played them on PC. I wonder how much better this game can look on Steam, or if it even looks any different at all.
I bet it does. I bet it looks phenomenal. You said your dad loves the first Warplanes, right? Wasn't that one of the games he likes? Has he tried the second one?
No. He likes Ultra Wings. He hasn't played Warplanes.
Oh God, you need to get him into this, Wes. I bet he really likes this, right?
That's what I was thinking the whole time I was playing. It was like my dad would really dig this game. So yeah, we might gift this one to him. Awesome. Eric, have you had a chance to trick out Warplanes on PC? Like I haven't, but I'm sure it's amazing.
I haven't. I want to. Yeah, I mean, I haven't. Does anybody else out there have tried it and know that if it's any beefed up at all? I mean, even if it's not, if it's exactly the same, it's still the best game on this list. I'm taking Outlier and putting it as early
access. I thought you might say that, but not
you
so
knew
fast.
I was going there.
Not so fast, friends. Cosmonious High also hit Steam this month, as well as the Oculus Rift platform, and yes, that is still a thing. Again, $30. Alchemy Labs Job Simulator on steroids. Not feeling it for PC, guys?
Well, same thing applies here, right? You crank the graphics up, right? Really crank it up. So I don't think it's going to look too much different, actually.
Yeah, I agree. But you know what does stand to benefit from increased graphics on PC? Mare, which came to PC from Vision Trick Media on the last day of the month. This is a $20 puzzle game. Very slow paced game. It takes a while before this game starts to become entertaining, but it's very artistic. It tells a cool story, and it's very, very unique. And a lot of what makes this game cool to experience is the world, is the art. And while I didn't get a chance to check this out on PC, it was beautiful on Quest, and I got to imagine that it's going to be all that much better on PC.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Paradise Decay says that he forgot to mention earlier the Transformers Beyond Reality PSVR devs have confirmed it is an arcade rail shooter.
Yeah.
Just saying. We could tell it was pretty much a rail shooter, right? Which is fine. I love, this is the thing. I used to love rail shooters in arcades. I'm looking for an amazing one that makes me feel like I'm in an arcade again. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, I'm fine with rail shooters, dude. I liked Archangel, and if this is anything like that, the Transformers are just going to be a bonus.
Right.
You know, that game could be fun. It could suck. We don't know. They
crapshoot.
They postponed it indefinitely. So that game was supposed to come last month. It didn't. So that one's going to get shelved and to a later date. Hopefully this month, but we don't know. We don't know when it's
I'm
coming.
more upset that I can't be a freaking Autobot or a Transformer. Why don't you make me a Transformer in the game?
Yeah, for real, for real. Paradise Decay says Mare looks great. It's cool, man. Again, if you haven't played it and you go in to check it out, give it some time. It takes it a while to get challenging at all, uh, but it's cool. It's definitely unique, and it's not for everyone. I can definitely tell you that not everyone's going to like Mare, but I did. I liked it. So anyway, it's a tale of two games, in my opinion. Obviously, Outlier and Warplanes. Eric votes to shelf Outlier as an early access title and make Warplanes the undisputed winner. What say you, Roots?
I would think that that's the smart move to do, and it's the most fair thing to do for Outlier, because when it comes out of early access, it's going to be phenomenal, and we want it to have its best chance at that point, right? And it just came out. Like, they're still changing so many things. Same things that we've said about Legendary Tales applies to this, right? They're just nowhere near being done. So
All right, well, if you guys are on the same page there, I'm certainly not going to argue, but I will just say this. If it were up to a vote, I don't know who I'd be voting for. I love both of these games. And I think Outlier might even have a higher ceiling just because it's a shooter game and I love playing shooters.
if I was if I was forced to vote, Outlier would absolutely get my vote. There's so much to that game, and I love that type of shooter, right? I mean, I love Returnal, and this is the Returnal of VR of some sorts. So
PD says Mare has a Shadow of the Colossus vibe on PC.
wow,
Now you make me want to go check it out on PC, dude.
All right.
Again, it's a beautiful game on Quest. I can only imagine with the graphical upgrades how it must look. It'd be nice if the Vision Trick Media would send me a key. It would be awesome.
that
Yeah,
would
right.
be, yeah. Wes might even stream it for all we know.
Yeah, this looks like a game that would be right up like Scion's alley, right?
I don't know, man.
Is
It's
this a
not a. It's not.
puzzler
A,
or no? It's not a puzzler.
it's not. It's not a like a. It's not a standard puzzler. This is something different. I mean, technically, it's a puzzler, but it's not like it's not a hardcore, by the books puzzler. This is you're trying to make your way through the map. If I had to compare it to something, it's kind of like Last Labyrinth,
Mm.
but not really. Last Labyrinth has hardcore puzzles in it. This don't. This is more passive. Trying to find your way through a maze really is what you're doing, and you're instructing this girl to kind of like go over here and hit a button so that maybe it opens up this part of the path so that you can walk over there. Now that you're over here, you can get her to go over there and open up that door. It's one of those type things. Um, Very unique.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
More like Moss style puzzles is what Paradise Decay says.
Mm.
Kinda. I can see it. It's its own game. I can say that it's its own game. Nothing really like it.
I agree with Corporate Zombie. This would be a great 5-port Infinity title if it's not already.
It might be already on there. Yeah, it might already be on there. It was on there before as when Mayor was up for like one of these film festivals. I don't remember if it was Sundance or one of the other ones. But when uh, when it was up for one of those awards, Viveport was kind of participating in all of that, and Mare was playable on Viveport months ago, months before it even was announced for PC, which was what kind of tipped us off that it was coming because I saw it on Viveport.
It says it's on Viveport for $15, 25% off right now. So I don't see anything about Infinity for it. Bummer.
Wolveraza setting us up. He says, I will say I like the bird a lot. You know who else likes the bird a lot?
My mom!
Oh, yeah, she does.
All right. So I think it's unanimous. I think Warplanes is our winner for PCVR Game of the Month. Outlier, we are going to save for another day and judge it when it is in its final form. So
Thank God
See, we
for
got
early
to pick
access.
Warplanes after all.
For early access.
I know, right? It makes things a lot more tidy, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
All right, friends. 3 platforms, 3 great winners, 5 great winner, 4 great winners. But the winners just keep on coming as we do have 2 more games to give away. First of all, let's see here. Blair Witch for PC. Now, you can have this game on Steam or you can have this game on Rift. It does not support cross-buy. So if you pick it up on Rift expecting to get it on Quest, that's not what's going to happen. You can have this on the PC platform of your choice. Corporate Zombie. Congratulations, Corporate Zombie. You are the winner of Blair Witch VR, which is an amazing VR horror game.
What a good game. Yeah, absolutely.
Seymour Lucky Game Cat says, I really need to get my hands on PCVR. There's not a lot that it offers, but there's a high price to pay to get through the door.
Your soul.
Um,
No, just kidding.
so as long as you're
Pretty much.
willing, as long as you're willing to let that value proposition go, there's some amazing things to experience on PC. That said, you got to work for it. You don't just have to pay for it, you have to work for it as well. There's a lot. It's not like PlayStation where you just get
Plug
in the
and
game
play.
and play.
Well,
Yeah.
Mash
there's
and
a-
I, we were just talking about Risk of Rain too, man. The mods that alone is worth PCVR.
That's so good.
Hey, our new friend Mickey's in the chat. What's up, Mickey Bear? He says, good morning, stranger. Sorry I missed the beginning of the show. Just got back in town. So he's just hitting Orlando. Welcome home, friend, and welcome to the chat.
Oh, whereabouts in Orlando? I used to live in Castleberry. I'm sure you're very familiar of where that is. If
Yeah,
you
I'll be hitting Orlando in a couple of weeks.
nice.
I'll be doing our first episode of Reality Bites from Disney World.
Oh my God. Are you
On
gonna
the
do it with
20th.
Mickey?
Maybe that would be cool.
You know who else is going to do it with Mickey?
Oh God.
My mom!
My God, man, she has been all over the board today. From tentacles to Mickey.
And for the record, I'm not talking about Mickey Barrios. I'm talking about Mickey Mouse.
Yeah. No, you know Mickey.
Anyway.
He's so fine. He's so hey Mickey.
Anyway, Mickey, my good friend Ruuts here from Castleberry, he says, he thinks you'll be familiar with that anyway. Seymour Lucky Game Cat says, I'm thinking I'm just going to grab an Oculus and hook it up. I've already got the PC. If you already have the PC, then yeah, dude, it's
Absolutely.
a no-brainer. The Oculus is $300. We'll say 400 because if you're getting a Quest, it's going to take a little bit more money to get it comfortable. You need to get yourself a Bobo VR head strap and a VR cover facial interface, and then it'll be comfortable enough to play. And yeah, wireless PCVR even available with the Oculus Quest.
And Airlink just got a big kick in the ass with some new stuff coming. So
that's right. That's
even
right.
Better,
Yeah,
even better things to come.
Nice.
You caught that article too, I see.
Oh yeah.
Eric.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about that on Sunday as we go through the headlines. But absolutely right. Wireless PCVR possibly becoming even better with the Quest 2.
Wolf Raza says, keep rocking it, getting better with every show. Throwing out a $2 tip. We appreciate you, Wolf Raza. I appreciate that compliment.
Herb the 24/7 Game Cat says, I refuse to buy any Joyway games as an objection to the Russian invasion of Ukraine. One, I did not know that Joyway was a Russian company. That's news to me. But I don't think anyone supports the Russian invasion of Ukraine, including the Russian people. And I think we need to keep that in mind as well. Because while I despise what the Russian government is doing to the Ukrainian people, we do have friends, developers in Russia that are good people, and I'm quite sure of that. I don't even think that the soldiers want to be doing this. So
it's a nightmare for everybody. It sucks.
Yeah. I certainly can understand the sentiment of wanting to keep any kind of value from pouring into that country while this kind of aggression is going on. Yes, it does hurt the people, but we have to put pressure on the people to make a regime change over there, right? That's the only way this is going to end, is if the Russian people end it. So I certainly understand the sentiment, and I respect it.
Agreed.
Anyway, we have another game to give away here.
Ooh.
This is a great game, an Oculus exclusive, even Phantom Covert Ops. This is a Quest key, but it's a cross-buy title, so you can play it on Quest. You can play it on PC. It's great on both, but I suggest that you play it on PC. The lighting is way better on PC, and it looks a lot better. Anyway, congratulations. Mepper is the winner of
I
Phantom
love
Covert
Wow.
Ops,
I love Mepper.
and we all love Mepper. So
Good game
congrats,
too.
congrats, Mepper. Very much appreciate you, and glad that you are the winner of one of the better games on this list that we're giving away today. Phantom Covert Ops, an amazing game. You know, I got thinking earlier today, guys. We know that End Dreams has 2 PSVR 2 titles in development right now. Do we know if Oculus owns the IP for Phantom Covert Ops, or was it a timed exclusive? Could In Dreams be bringing Phantom Covert Ops to PSVR 2?
Yeah, it makes sense, right? It's a good game, and it would be perfect for it, right?
Great game. Absolutely. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just posing questions.
Yeah. Well, they never said if it was an exclusive or not, so it very well could be. I want to
Yeah.
mix
Well,
Fracked
guess what,
and Phantom Covert Ops. I want to ski and then kayak.
dude? That's
Right?
exactly what we were talking about earlier. They need to put it all together and give us an epic length action adventure game.
Yeah.
I'm 100% on board with that.
And bring David Hayter back in some capacity. I want
David
Solid
Hayter's
Snake
in
in every game.
everything.
Yeah.
David Hayter's in everything. You know who else loves Solid Snake?
My mom.
Oh yeah, she does.
Any kind of snake.
Yeah, solid, somewhat solid.
Anyway, I think that's going to wrap us up here, friends. I want to thank those of you who stayed up late to help us figure out this mess that is Game of the Month.
Can I plug one thing?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
I usually never do this, but we're gonna have an interview tomorrow with Lucas Martel from Mighty Coconut, and they just announced their big new course today with Mist, and we'll have.
Yeah, man.
That's amazing.
So we're gonna have them. It's gonna be pre-recorded. We're gonna record it tomorrow afternoon, but we're gonna air it live tomorrow night.
Well, and this is something to say to the people out there that maybe wanted the Bobo VR or any of that stuff. I mean, obviously, I don't know what you're giving away tomorrow, but Mash is always giving away stuff on the Q2CVR Gamer show, right? And so there's a good possibility that something you need is going to be there, as well as good content and a good interview, apparently. So.
Oh yeah, we're
Games
gonna
and
pick a-
games
pick
and
a-
games, man.
Yeah, for sure.
The Will of D, the only place.
Who doesn't love
Exclusive.
the Wheel of D?
Oh yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I didn't know that, Eric. I'm glad that you stopped me. Mist. There's going to be Mist courses for Walkabout Mini Golf. How about Walkabout Mini Golf quickly becoming one of the top multiplayer titles on the Quest platform? That's crazy, man. These IPs they keep pulling in.
How cool is it to think about Mist? Because my thought is okay, it's cool that they're bringing Mist in there. Like Last Labyrinth, it's so long ago since I don't have a concept. Mist I've just played through, and it makes you wonder how are they going to bring this world into there? Like, are you going to be in some of these amazing, like that opening scene? You're going to be playing there. I don't know. What do they do? How are they going to do this? That's what I'm curious about.
Well, you take the maps from Mist and you poke holes in them. Ta-da!
Simple, right? I just think it's going to be
Easy
cool.
peasy.
Very smart, and it's really good to see that they're real IPs. That's cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, Q2C VR Gamer Live. There are links in the description for that. You're not going to want to miss it. So yeah, with that, I think we're going to wrap up this episode. Once again, thank you to all the people, new and old, that are hanging out with us in the chat, who stayed up late to help us figure out Game of the Month. We couldn't have done it without your help. April is here. And while maybe it's not off to the as quick a start as March was, I don't think historically we've ever had a month like March. April's off to a solid start already. We've already got some great titles in the can. And what do we have coming up this month? Well, we have the Oculus, or I guess I'm sorry, Meta. We have the Meta Gaming Showcase on April 20th. We have the PlayStation VR 2 event, the rumored event, which is looming large over everything in the industry right now. That could drop literally any day. And a little bird told me that this one could be pretty significant. So we're going to keep our ears to the ground on that one. And then, of course, games upon games upon games. Great one's already out. Great one's coming. We'll meet you back here in a month to figure it all out once again. So thank you. Thanks, guys. You're the best.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and ring the bell so that you can stay up to date with all of our content. Of course, if you want to hang out with us, talk with us a little bit more, you'll find a link down below to the Virtual Strangers Discord. We're in there 24/7, 365, hanging out, talking VR, talking live, getting together multiplayer games, you name it, we're doing it in there. And we invite you to come do it with us. Yes, I did invite people to come do it with us. I did that. That was me.
D says, you know who else likes it in the can?
My mom!
If you want to do a little something extra to help to support the channel and help us grow, you can support us on Patreon. $3 per month. That's all we ask. $3 per month. And you'll get access to our weekly show notes, insider updates, and exclusive content, all for less than $1 per week. And you get the peace of mind knowing that you did your part to help our community grow into the beast that it's going to be one day. Your Patreon dollars are like milk for our community, and we're going to grow up and be big and strong thanks to your support. Shout out to our latest and newest patron, Q Creator, who joined the rolls this past week. We very much appreciate you, as well as everyone else who watches, donates, shares with their friends. You guys are the backbone that keeps us standing up straight. We very much appreciate and love every one of you.
Yep.
And with that said, friends, I'd like to thank you all once again for watching. For Eric and Ruuts, I'm Wes. We'll see you soon, friends. Bye now.
Take it easy.
See you later.